Right, listen. The thoughts and opinions expressed on the Stay Down and Late podcast belong to me, K Stacks to P, and maybe whoever else got the nerve to pull up. This ain't for the overly serious, overly sensitive, overly serious, or anybody looking to be offended on purpose. If you mad, you might want to log off now. For everybody else, welcome to the Stay Down and Late podcast. Let's talk our shit. What up? Forgot to turn on the freaking speaker. So thirsty to record. Didn't even make sure I was prepared. Now it should be better. Okay, cool. But yes. So if anything, let's do it again. Alright, listen. The thoughts and opinions expressed on the Stay Down and Late podcast belong to me, K Stacks P, and maybe whoever else got the nerve to pull up. This ain't for the overly sensitive, overly serious, or anybody looking to be offended on purpose. If you mad, you might want to log off now. For everybody else, welcome to the Stay Down and Late podcast. Let's talk our shit. What up? It's your boy K Stacks P, and welcome to another episode of the Stay Down LA podcast. This is episode 37 of the Stay Down LA podcast. And this is brought to you guys by Stay Down LA. Make sure to follow me. I was going to say follow us, but it really is just me. Follow me on all my platforms. Follow me on Instagram at Stay Down LA. And if you want to work out, follow my fitness page at Stay Down LA_fitness. And the Stay Down LA has an underscore at the end, so don't forget that. Follow me on TikTok at the Fake K Stacks. Follow me on YouTube at Stay Down LA. You know what I'm saying? Stay Down Los Angeles, whatever you want to type in. But that's what this is brought to you guys by. And then, of course, I stream on Twitch. So if you guys want to follow me on Twitch, follow me at K Stacks the P. You know what I'm saying? That's really where if you want to see any of my content, that's really my name on there on most of my pages. So if you guys follow me on there, that way you get to stay up to date and be able to know anything and everything that I post and just everything that I do. So the Stay Down LA podcast, I don't know what is going on. My freaking knee is itchy as heck right now. For the people that's listening, my knee is freaking itching the heck out of me right now. So weird. But who am I? It's your boy K Stacks the P, the host with the most, and you know I got a roast. And I don't have no champagne, but we still gonna toast. You feel me? Just little bars. And I am just you know what I'm saying? I'm an entertainer. I'm a rapper. I'm a businessman. I'm a hustler. I do it all. I'm a man of many hats. You know what I'm saying? I have different roles that I play. And this is one of the roles that I play. Or I guess you could say one of the hats that I wear, which is a podcaster. And this podcast essentially is a podcast where I just come on here and I talk my shit about the stuff that I really care about. Why should you listen to me and why should you even watch this podcast? Because you want to see a real nigga say some real shit. I'm the mixture between street smarts and book smarts. You know what I'm saying? So you get that nice mix here. It's actually funny. A big shout out to the supporters, man. A very big shout out to all the supporters. I was looking into the numbers this morning. Well, actually, let's finish the introduction before we get into anything really podcast-wise. But, yeah, essentially, you know what I'm saying? I just come on here and really talk about some shit that I find cool, you know what I'm saying? If you feel like you're a nerd, feel like you're a weeb, you know what I'm saying? This is really the right shit for you, you know what I'm saying? And, of course, it's really for black people, really. That's really the main audience. That's who I'm really going for. Black men in general, you know what I'm saying? That's really trying to make a way for themselves and overall work and get to that next level, you know what I'm saying? As I'm also trying to get to that next level. So it's kind of like a weekly diary where I kind of just give you guys updates on what's going on during the week of what happened to me, what's going on in society, and what's going on in the media, you know what I'm saying? Shit that I feel like you guys should care about, but overall that I really care about. And then, of course, we talk about myself. So now that we got that out the way, we got to, of course, get the incense burning. No, this is not no drugs or anything. This is an incense that I get from the Taj Mahal. Make sure you guys check out the Taj Mahal. It is in Crenshaw. It is a black-owned business that is very essential for the community. As you can see, I have the ability to purchase things like this, which is a Bob Marley incense, and of course a nice little incense house that I get to house it as well. For the people that's watching, for the at-home listeners, I'm talking about my incense holder, and of course, for the at-home listeners, you guys know I got my niggas with me. Well, you guys will know now. I got my dog Naruto, figurine straight from Japan. I'm not lying about that. I don't cap in my rap. I got my nigga Dwight Schrute bobblehead from The Office. I got Vegito, Super Vegito. I was about to say Gogeta, but I know the difference between Vegeta and Gogeta. So don't get it twisted. I'm not new to this. I'm true to this. Then of course I got my nigga Michael Myers. And for my Star Wars fans, I have in the back. Should I mention what show you guys? Naruto from Naruto, and this is Naruto Shippuden, of course, for the at-home listeners. Dwight Schrute from The Office, Vegito from Dragon Ball Z, Michael Myers from Halloween, and then in the back I have a custom. Yes, this is one of one. You're not gonna. Well, you could make it yourself. I'm not gonna cap, but this is custom in a sense that I made this personally at Disneyland. This is my very own, I guess you could say, android. What do they call the Star Wars little R2D2? But this is not R2D2. I'm scared to pick him up because he is very heavy. But essentially, yeah, this is my custom R2D2. He can move his head and everything. You know what I'm saying? Like, he really is hard. So yeah, as you guys can see, I got the gang with me. You know what I'm saying? Got the squad with me. Got my dogs with me on the table. So now I got the introductions out the way. Let's of course start the episode with a prayer. It is day 30 of Ramadan, and besides that, if you guys don't know, if you don't know, now you know. The host here, this is a Muslim broadcast. This broadcast is extra halal. We don't do no pork on this broadcast, okay? This broadcast is extra halal, okay? I had to just say that twice because I am Muslim. I'm a Nigerian Muslim. I have no issue with Christians because my family has Christians in it too, so don't get it twisted. But essentially, yes, your boy out here is Muslim. It's day 30 of Ramadan. And it's weird because if you guys listen... Oh, and I wanted to say too, I've been just thinking, I couldn't wait to get on here and record, to be honest, you guys. Like, I always get so nervous before I start the podcast, but once I start the podcast, it's like all the weight just like leaves my shoulders, and I get to see like, okay, like what I was worried about is not nothing to be worried about. Just let the thoughts flow as they're just gonna flow. Anywho, I was in the shower and I was just thinking about how like, dang, I might have just lost the train of thought. But dang, what was I gonna say? It was something in regards to pretty much how, of course, I was just talking about how I'd be tripping for no reason. Okay, I was talking, that's what I was saying. I was talking about the day of Ramadan. I was mistaken because that's why I sit in the shower. Cause it's like I was battling two thoughts at once. I was thinking how I was gonna say that I wanted to start selling in the podcast, like depending on whatever episode I'm on, how I was gonna tell people that you don't have to listen to all the episodes to know or to get context. I would recommend it, but generally speaking, all you gotta really do, because for example, this is your first episode that you're listening to, because the way Spotify does it, I think it starts with the most recent upload. If this happens to be the first episode that you guys are starting on, there's no issue with you starting here. You're not in the wrong place. You don't have to go backwards. But if you would like just, I guess, a broader context and a broader spectrum of just what to expect with the podcast, I definitely recommend listening to at least episode 1, How to Stay Down LA, so at least you get an idea of what this is. And that's just for the new listeners. Now that we got, like I said, now that I've, I guess you could say, welcome the new people, I could get to the, to the members, the Scorpions. Shout out to my Scorpions out there. Shout out to anybody that's a Scorpion out there, you feel me? So, to my Scorpions out there, you guys already know, I really appreciate you guys for coming here. You guys know the vibes. It's another Thursday. It's another podcast day, so you guys already know we're finna have another amazing episode. I got another amazing episode for you guys today. And, of course, you guys start with prayer. Oh, And that's what I was also saying too. The last episodes, I was saying how I thought Ramadan was going to end on Thursday because all the other holidays, the national holidays, look at me, ended up on my podcast day. So I spoke a little too soon 2 episodes ago. I want to say 2 or 3 episodes ago when I said, oh yeah, Ramadan's going to end on my podcast day. I'm actually wrong. So today is day 30 of Ramadan, but it's looking like Eid is going to be on Friday because in Dubai they didn't see the crescent moon. So because they didn't see the crescent moon, that would signify the end of Ramadan. Ramadan has an extra day. So yeah, say that to say because I got my cut. I was prepared for the celebrations today. I was even with wanting to record the episode. I said I gotta make sure I record the episode early so that way I can make sure I can make it to the mosque to pray and everything. But now that it's not today, I low-key get a little bit more breathing room because now tomorrow, me and my twin, we just gonna go ride our bikes, and then after that, come home, dress up, get ready to go pray. You know what I'm saying? It's like the first day of school. I'm just keep thinking about the fit that I got for Eid. That's when I can't wait to put that. You know what I'm saying? I can't wait to get fly. But yes, now let's get the prayer in. I wish you bless you to energy and bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillah rabbil alamin. Ar-Rahmanir Rahim. Maliki yawmiddin. Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. Ihdinas siratal mustaqim. Siratal ladzina an'amta 'alaihim ghayril maghdubi 'alaihim waladdallin. Amen. Allah, I just want to thank you so much for waking me up. I want to thank you so much for waking up my family. I want to thank you so much for protecting me and my family. I want to thank you so much for making me the head, not the tail. I want to thank you so much for giving me the opportunity, giving me a roof over my head, giving me a place to stay, giving me running water, giving me food, giving me the necessities that I need so that way I can live a happy and healthy life. And I ask that you continue to protect and guide my parents, my family, everybody that I love and care about. Continue to make them strong, continue to keep them healthy, continue to keep them well. No matter what they're going through, allow them to be able to make it through. No matter what I'm going through, allow me to make it through. I ask that everything that I'm praying for, everything that I'm asking for, everything that I'm wanting, everything that I'm needing, anything that I desire, please to allow it to be able to come to fruition without no issue. And allow me to be able to have the mental fortitude, the emotional fortitude, and everything to be able to handle whatever situations that you put me in. Inshallah, mashallah, ameen. Thank you, Allah. I appreciate you and everything that you do. And I ask that you pass these blessings also as well onto the listeners and to the viewers and any supporters that watch the podcast in any way, shape, or form, or watch any form of content. And even to the haters, because, we can't do anything without the haters too. You know what I'm saying? They just hate us because they ain't us and they don't know us. And once they get to know us, they'll see there's no even reason to hate. So thank you, Allah, for all this, and I appreciate you. And I also want to give a big shout out to all my angels that are on the other side looking over me, guiding me, and protecting me. Shout out to my grandmas on both of my sides. Make sure that I ask that you guys continue to rest in peace. Shout out to Latif's mom. Shout out to Latif. Shout out to Kalila. And shout out to Elliot. All my angels, I love and miss y'all. It is not a day that goes by that I don't think about y'all. And I ask that you guys continue to protect me, continue to watch over me, and continue to guide me. Appreciate you guys. I love y'all. And I'll see you guys when I need to see y'all. Thank you. Amen. So now, you know what I'm saying? And I ain't gonna lie. It's just something about Loki doing that prayer that just feels so invigorating. That just gives me so much energy. So, I don't care if anybody minds me doing it, but I hope y'all don't mind because there's really a lot of passion, really a lot of love when I do that shit. So, I really mean everything. I'm so sorry. I gotta watch my tongue. I really mean everything I say. So, I hope you guys could really feel the sincerity in it. And if you don't, it is what it is. So, without further ado, I'm actually going to get right into the topics today. The weekly recap, I'm gonna be honest, didn't really do too much. It's one of those things where it's because it was Ramadan was wrapping up, nearing the end of Ramadan, didn't think it made sense to go too crazy. You know what I'm saying? Didn't think it made sense to put too much strain on my body. Trying to do too much that weekend or just this past weekend that I ran the marathon on. That was a lot, and I did not realize that. I didn't remember how, in the middle of Ramadan that was. So that was wrong with me. I will have to give an account to that because I had some FOMO this weekend. Shout out to my nigga Banjo. I had some FOMO this weekend because it was his birthday, and I wasn't even thinking about going out because I just knew it was Ramadan. But it was funny because I was like, dang. I kind of wish I could have went to that one. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'd be wanting to have my cake and eat it too. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. Like, I for sure was like, damn, I had a great night with Jasmine. Shout out to her. But man, shout out to my nigga Banjo. I seen them niggas outside. I said, man, that's my dog. I said, that's one of them nights I'm not supposed to miss. But I missed it. And I told you guys in the last episode, you have to choose what the regret you want to live with. That was the regret I was going to live with, because I just felt like at that time it just didn't make sense for me to like call off again. Like I said, I wasn't supposed to call off the last time, but it was a marathon. That physically I needed to have that whole day. So this one, it would have just been different. I just probably wouldn't, I don't think I would have had to call off. Would have been late to work type ish. But I didn't even know there was a plot going on to even like reach out to act. But nah, shout out to my nigga Banjo, man. You guys had me looking like, dang, I was living through y'all through the phone. You know what I'm saying? And in regards to last week's episode, I don't want to say I didn't finish it, but I didn't get to the movie review. And you guys know, essentially, that's one of the things that I know a lot of you guys come here for, the movie reviews. So I do apologize, because I did see a movie. I seen The Bride. But like I said in last week's episode, I don't think I was going to review that the way that I normally do it, because I will be honest, that movie, I feel like that's what I'm saying. Like, after I left, you know that one movie I was telling you, like Wuthering Heights. I think it was a movie like that. I'm like, now that I'm looking back at The Bride, and then before we even enter it, spoilers ahead. And before I get any further, the secret word of today's episode is sinners. So yeah, spoilers ahead. If you guys do not want to hear spoilers, if you guys do not like spoilers, please skip ahead. I'm actually going to be reviewing 2 movies back to back, so buckle in. You know what I'm saying? If you're driving, get nice and comfortable. If you're at work, get ready, because you guys know your boy. I don't hold back, and I say how I really feel about these movies. So this is, I think this is why I really feel like I'm gonna get invited to these movie premieres, because I'm not one of those guys that's gonna just say what they want to hear. I'm gonna really push the director to like really direct. You know what I'm saying? And they gonna appreciate that, because they'll be like, you know what, hey. Even the most weird movies, I'm going to give a chance if they just execute it correctly. Or at least if I see that the director's, I guess, imagination gets presented, or like they display it the way they want to display it, I'm going to respect it. It's just do it though. You know what I'm saying? Do your thing. And that's what I felt like with The Bride. I feel like The Bride was, I'm going to be honest, like I said, it was, it's kind of like a guilty pleasure. I don't think I've ever said that about anything, but it was like, when, like I said with the Wuthering Heights, where it's like, you're watching it because not necessarily that it's a super duper good movie, has the best story, but just because, you just want to see the characters win, I guess. That's the best way I could put it, because that's essentially how I felt in that movie. Like, The Bride is Frankenstein and, the bride of Frankenstein, but told from a different point of view. Of course, let me get the people that was on it. I don't know why I be doing this to myself, y'all. I know. I should definitely always have this stuff ready. But The Bride had Christian Bale, and that guy, Christian Bale, and because we're going to be talking about Undertone too, so let me get that one nice and ready. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to IMDb. That's usually where I get my summaries, the cast, and everything from when I go to these movies. So, what is The Bride? The Bride is a movie that is set in... I'm adding all this extra stuff. It says, in 1930 Chicago, Frankenstein... Yep. 1930 Chicago, Frankenstein asks Dr. Euphonius to help create a companion. They give life to a murdered woman as the bride, sparking romance, police interest, and radical social change. Now, for me, so right here, on IMDb, it has a 5.9 out of 10. Sorry, I thought I had to burp. My apologies. Y'all know I grade my movies on what you call it, out of 5. So out of 5, like I said, if I'm being, I don't think I'm being biased. If I'm being honest, I give it a 3.5. I liked it. I enjoyed it, especially the whole aspect of the social change. I feel like the message that they were trying to get across, while they didn't execute it as good as they could, because shout out to Fish and Jelly, you know, my favorite movie reviewers, which is low-key why I started like feeling like I could be more real with movie reviews, because they keep it 100. They always say how they truly feel about a movie. Like, I don't feel like they try to say it to where it's going to be received well by people, because honestly speaking, people do not like hearing, when, especially I guess people that don't watch movies that often, they don't like when you tell a movie or say a movie's bad, because it's like, dang, I didn't want to watch, if I didn't want to watch a movie before, now I really don't want to watch the movie then. Now, but in reality, like with anything in life, you kind of just have to experience it yourself, and then come with your own opinion, your own, you know what I'm saying, gauge of it, and then you could reference my opinion and then see like, oh, well, I see what Caduce is talking about. I disagree with him, but I see what he's talking about. And as long as you're respectful, I don't see there's no issue with no, you know what I'm saying, disagreeing and everything. But on IMDb, they gave it a 5.9 out of 10, meaning that they gave it low-key an F. And I'm kind of confused, because in reality, it lives up to its bio. You know what I'm saying? Like, it literally has Frankenstein asking Dr. Euphonious to help create a companion, which they do. It's a murdered woman. You know, it sparks a romance, which I didn't think I was going to like that much. But I actually kind of enjoyed it. Police interest and radical social change. And I think maybe because of the whimsicalness of Frankenstein in general is why I'm giving this movie so much grace. Like, if this was a real life character or person, maybe I'd probably be a little more, okay, what are we watching? But this is already ridiculous in the sense that, like, it's Frankenstein, 1930s, and he's just a regular guy. Okay, cool. So I tell you guys all the time with my movie reviews, if you set the world and however you set the environment or the scale to be, and you say these are the rules, as long as you abide by the rules the whole entire time of the movie, I have no issue with it. It's when you guys say things are like this, but then you give an exception for this. Like when they have the movies with the, like I said, I feel like with the detective movies or the who done it movies with the who killed who movies, when they make it seem like they said it in a real life world where it's really like consequences and there's chances to get caught, and then they give the character so many ways to get away with this shit. That's when I start losing interest, because I'm like, okay, you made it seem like the stakes were high. Like, you made it seem like this guy had to be really careful with the crime. But if I knew the police was going to be this terrible, I wouldn't care. But with Frankenstein, it's like I said, it's like it's Frankenstein. Like, this is literally a person that was created from other parts, from a doctor, and he's over however many years old, and he just walks up. Cool. If that's what we're going with, I'm with it. So if they show some more ridiculous stuff after, ridiculous. If they show anything more ridiculous after, I'm not gonna be surprised, because they already started it ridiculous. Like, it's Frankenstein just like a regular guy. So essentially, the movie starts off with the author, or which I ended up finding out later was the girl that played the bride. She narrates that essentially this movie is going to be a new version, or a new, how do you say, rendition? I don't want to say rendition, but a new like telling of the story of the bride, or I guess Frankenstein, because the way she started off is like, you know, you guys, I think that's what she says. Yes, it's bride. She says that, you guys know the story of Frankenstein, but you guys don't know the story of the bride. And essentially she's saying that, like, even the story that you guys do know, that's not even the full story. So this time around, we gonna do it differently. So she's in black and white. She's like in the room, you know what I'm saying, like on some like confessional, you know what I'm saying, type vibes, and she's like just talking to the camera, breaking the fourth wall already from the, like, and that's why, like I said, from the start, they're already breaking the fourth wall. She's already talking to us, and she's already letting us know what the movie's going to be about, but she also is talking to the character in the movie, which is so dope. Like, she was talking to the audience and talking to the character. So she's in the movie, but looking to us too, like letting us know what's going on. So we now see the bride character, which, my apologies, let me get her name. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't gotta do you guys like that. So Ida, and she's actually really pretty. I'm not gonna lie. Sorry, because I'm looking at her and I'm like, even in the movie, I ain't gonna lie. Maybe that's why I was fucking with it so much. Like, she kind of bad. Like on me. Jessie Buckley, yeah, she's kind of pretty. Yeah, she's an Irish singer and an actress who came in second place in the BBC talent show themed television series I Do Anything, and subsequently played Anne Ingerman in West End Revival. So she was in Hamnet? I knew it. I said, she looks so familiar. You know what I'm saying? But I didn't know she was just in that movie so like recently. So, hey, gotta give her flowers. So definitely, big shout out to Jessie Buckley. I feel like she definitely did an outstanding job. Her performance was definitely very noticeable, or was very memorable. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Christian Bale too, because I feel like him as Frankenstein. Granted, I don't want to say that I could necessarily still, because I'll be honest, certain characters like with Thor, you know what I'm saying, like I was talking about in Crime 101, Chris Hemsworth, even though he could play other characters, he's still ultimately Thor to me every time I see him. So Christian Bale, even though he could play other characters, he's still ultimately Batman to me when I see him. But in this role, I still did feel like he did embody Frankenstein, and I liked, maybe it was the makeup, like he didn't look like himself, so it was really, I was able to immerse into the movie and then immerse into the character himself. So, essentially, we're seeing Ida at a table, you know what I'm saying, Jessie Buckley. So I'm going to just call her Ida. Please keep up, guys, because I don't want to, I know sometimes, you know what I'm saying, I'm Nigerian, I talk kind of fast, so I might lose you guys, but to the listeners, to the viewers, Ida is Jessie Buckley, Christian Bale is Frankenstein, or Frank, so. And then, like I said, I'll do my best to, you know what I'm saying, go through the cast. And I know, I did change the rules of the movie review, so we're not going to go too deep into it, but I feel like I at least got to set the scale, because I really enjoyed this movie, like I said, I really did. So you guys know this one. This movie I really cared about, I could talk about it all day, I'll be honest with you. So, Ida was, essentially an escort. And I didn't know. That's how you know, like, sometimes, and that's why I really appreciate movie reviews and people that explain the theories, because sometimes when you're watching a movie, not everybody has the ability to watch movies 2-3 times over. I used to. I'll be honest. There was a time where, like, if I really liked the movie, I would watch it again. But part of me now, I don't know. It's not necessarily that it's difficult to, but sometimes when I already know a scene is coming or I already know how something plays out, instead of me able to, like, immerse in the movie, I'm just waiting for that scene to come. And then when I see all the scenes playing out before it, I'm like, damn, I know they freaking robbed the bank, but I didn't forgot all the steps they had to get to robbing the bank. Like, I kind of be, I ain't gonna lie, I end up doing scrolling, keep it a beam. So now I'm really trying to, get myself back immersed into just really watching stuff and really, like, doing that. But I didn't know, I couldn't tell she was an escort. I genuinely thought when the movie was beginning that this was and that's why it's so funny, because looking back, it's like, I could see it now. But at the time, I thought this was like a couple, let's just say like a group of like, adults that just was like, okay, hey, we finna come out with a couple girls, you know what I'm saying? It's like two, I thought it was like, okay, boyfriend and girlfriend, I thought it was two couples, and then they just had like some extra friends with them. Because Ida is with the guy, but she's not really with him. And they're like at a restaurant, essentially. And then, Ida, from the version of the narrator, she's now like, okay, yeah, I choose this girl. She's going to be the one to tell the story. So, essentially, she gets possessed. And that's why I knew, like I said, the movie was going to be whimsical, because she gets possessed in the middle of the dinner or in the middle of the restaurant. And it's like, it's one of those things where it's like it almost turns into like a musical, but it doesn't. You know what I'm saying? It's as if she breaks into song, and everybody else is just like acknowledging her and watching her, but they just kind of like just going about their day. But then when she starts kind of like talking mess about the mob boss, because that's where they're at, they're in like a mob area, that's when they kind of like have to like, hey, get her chilled out. But the reason I thought it was like a couple was because, like I said, Ida was with a nigga, and then there was another guy that kind of like had like, I don't want to diss him, but he had like a speech impediment. He sounded like, who did he sound like? he sounded like this one guy in this one show, or this that's so right. Like, thanks, Caduce. That's so specific. We could definitely figure out who you're talking about with that. I know, my bad. I got y'all. It's like I'm thinking of the voice. He sounds like, if you guys play Grand Theft Auto, Trevor has two homies. There's Ron, and then there's the other guy. Let me look him up real quick. But he sounds like that guy. The guy, is he? What you call it? Trevor's people. Trevor's friends. GTA 5. Like, I guess that's what we'll type in. Wade. So, the guy sounds like Wade Herbert, right? And I'm not sure. Let's see who plays him. Like, who's okay, voiced by Matthew Maher. I knew it! I love when I get vindicated like this. I knew I wasn't crazy, right? Because when I watched the movie, the guy's name is Matthew Maher. So when I watched the movie, right, I'm like, this nigga sound dumb familiar. But I must have referenced another character that sounds like him. Because, like I said, he plays Wade Herbert in Grand Theft Auto 5. But he was in the movie, and he was who another one of the people was with in the dinner table with that they was in a dinner with. He kind of like, I ain't gonna lie, Ida's with another guy, but he kind of like on some, I ain't gonna lie, some freaky shit. Was like, Ida, you know what I'm saying? Eat my food. I don't know, like, I forgot what they did in particular, but I'm like, nigga, if this is my wife or my girl, I wish my homie would try to like do some freaky shit and like make her like essentially be like on some whole shit. But I'm not realizing that's what she is. She's an escort, dude. Like, bro, like she has to, but in this situation, that's her job essentially. So I'm like, oh, I didn't peep it though. I'm just thinking these niggas is fucked up to this girl. Like, oh me, I'm not fucking with this. You know what I'm saying? I'm standing up for Ida. But then she gets possessed. And I'm kind of with her at first because I'm like, okay, cool. Go ahead, expose these niggas. Cool. Go ahead, you know what I'm saying? Get your get back. But then when she started kind of doing the most, I was like, all right. All right, Ida. Now you are looking a little crazy. So they kind of pull her to the side. And I'm saying all this to say, like, how she ends up murdered. Oh, my bad. Yes, she dies. Whoa, my bad. Guys. But, yeah. They pull her to the side. And they're like, hey, you doing too much, girl. Like, chill out. And she's like, I'm not doing too much. Like, she's possessed and herself at the same time. So it's the 1930s. You know, I guess back in this time, hitting women was just the standard because pretty much you're like, girl, slap out of it. And she's like, that felt good. Do it again, like on some shit. And they're like, oh yeah, you're really tripping. So Matthew Maher, the saying Wade character, he come on some shit like, bro, man, get this girl right. I got you. And one thing leads to another. And bro, one thing leads to another. They push her down the stairs, or she falls down the stairs, and she breaks her legs, snaps her neck. Like, it's a pretty brutal, like, death, for falling down the stairs type thing. Like, if your worst fear is falling down the stairs because you think you could die, this movie would like heighten that to like 10,000%, because the way she kind of like broke all her, bones and limbs was a little OD. But yeah, pretty much we see that. We don't see how they bury her. We don't see how they get rid of her. But we now kind of get like, I don't say, yeah, nah, we don't get the title screen until they bring her to life, I want to say. But pretty much now we're given to Frankenstein's character, Christian Bale. They don't really do too much, like I said, of like, if I'm not mistaken, because I could be wrong, my memory, this movie, I did see it 2 weeks ago. Stalling me out. I don't know if they give too much background on like how Frankenstein, end up where he's at, but pretty much we just see him kind of like enter this building. It kind of looked like a Doctor Strange building, and he's looking for a doctor, Dr. Euphrates, and this lady comes out, and she's basically like, hey, look, just so you know, because he my bad. He gets, like, I seen the email, so that email threw me off. He came in there on some, like, oh, yeah, I'm looking for a doctor, Euphrates. And she's like, oh, okay, like, let me go see what I could do or whatever. And he's like, nah, I need to see this guy right now. And she's like, okay, oh, because his face is covered. She's like, well, can you take off your face covering? And he's like, nah, I think I'm good. And he's like, nah, you know what I'm saying, take it off. So he takes it off and then, introduce himself. He's like, I'm Frankenstein. And she's like, oh, wow, you must be however many years old. And he's like, yeah, like, that's cool and all, but, like, can I see the doctor? Like, I've read his books, I've seen his this and da because he thinks he's a guy. And she's like, yeah, like, follow me. And he's like, bro, like, you bullshitting with me, yo. Like, I need help. And she's like, oh, my bad. I'm the nigga you looking for. But the thing is, I'm not a nigga. I'm a woman. And he's like, oh, wow. And she's like, yeah, pretty much, the way that the Times is, the type of, research that I do, if I was to publish anything, they pretty much wouldn't fuck with me because I'm a woman. So I pretty much use like an alias so that way they think I'm a guy. So pretty much she kind of works with like, reanimation. She's like a doctor in that regard. So like the bio said, Frankenstein kind of comes there with the request. He's like, I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm gonna just say it like, I'm gonna just say it plainly. I'm gonna say it like a real nigga say it. I ain't gonna lie to you, doc. I've been lonely. I've been alive for a long time. I've experienced a lot, been through a lot, seen a lot. But one thing I haven't experienced is companionship. One thing I haven't experienced is some love. And like, they don't really make it like on some freaky shit like he really wants sex per se. But they kind of imply, like, yeah, like, I've never been with a woman, you know what I'm saying? So, like, she's like, so, what do you want me to do about that? He's like, well, pretty much, if we could bring a woman, like, how I got brought to life, can we bring a woman back to life? You know what I'm saying? Like, this is kind of up your alley. Like, can we do that? And she's like, morally, I ain't gonna lie, that's really fucked up. Like, this is not something we could just regularly do. Like, this is not something that you could just ask a regular doctor to do. You know what I'm saying? Even if they have the ability, which in reality is true, is like, that's a lot of lines you're crossing essentially to do that. Like, not only are you bringing someone back to life, but you're having to, desecrate a grave in a sense. You know what I'm saying? Like, if this person doesn't know you, which the movie kind of like gets into, like, what's the guarantee that this whole experience is even going to go the way it's going to go? Because essentially, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, and I think that's why I kind of fucked with it, because we're kind of giving Frankenstein like from a position of ignorance, but throughout the whole movie we see him trying to learn, and he does learn. You know what I'm saying? Sadly, he kind of, doesn't get the outcome he wants, but I like how even the movie doesn't just make it to where that, because pretty much, he kind of like, I don't want to say he begs the doctor, but he kind of like, he kind of gets her to be like, you know what, you seem like you have a good plight, I'm gonna fuck with you. They go and pick up Ida, like, like I said, the chances of them even finding a woman like her, you know what I'm saying, it's like, all of this is it's movie magic, you feel me? So they pretty much go get Ida. And even when he sees her, he's like, I ain't gonna lie, she too bad. He's like, I thought we was gonna get like some, I don't know what he thought they was gonna get. Maybe some lady that maybe like, you know what I'm saying, been through a lot. But he sees Ida and he's like, even her position, he's like, she is fine. Like, is this okay? He's like, it's like, he's like, I know I was all down for this, but now that I'm here, I'm kind of like having second thoughts. And she's like, boy, I can't keep no dead body here. You gotta make up your mind. We either gonna go all the way through with this, or we not gonna go all the way through with this. And he's like, you right. Let me lock in. So, pretty much, yeah, they bring her back to life, It's alive! And they bring her back to life, and we now see the bride. And, she only has, I guess, certain memory, and, like, because of whatever they made her drink, she coughs up and she gets like some black mark that pretty much, that is kind of like her you know how Batman has the bat symbol? That becomes her symbol or her insignia that like kind of like represents her as a character, or represents her as the bride throughout the whole movie, because they gave her some black drink that she had to drink. And then, yeah, the movie essentially is really just Frankenstein trying to get her to fall in love with him, but his idea of love is based off of a character that he sees on TV or in the movies. Like, he's kind of like me. He watches cinema. He's very, he frequents the movies. And the most popular guy right now happens to be Jake Gyllenhaal's character, who I ain't gonna lie, I thought Frankenstein was gonna kill him at one point, but he didn't. I was really happy. Jake Gyllenhaal is playing a character named Ronnie Reed. So Ronnie Reed is let's just call him an actor that Frankenstein really loves to watch, you know what I'm saying? And essentially, he kind of, I guess you could say, he fell in love with the story that Jake Gyllenhaal or Ronnie, he fell in love with the character, and I guess you could say he sees himself in it, because when he goes to the movies and he will watch the movie, he would like imagine himself doing what the character is doing what Ronnie Reed is doing. Like, he would imagine himself being a dancer, which is what made me like the movie. Cause I was like, you see, they're giving Frankenstein some personality. Like, even though it's kind of because that's what I was. I remember the other day I was thinking too. I remember I was telling you guys, I was like, there was this one time where I seen a post where the lady was like, "Oh, guys aren't romantic; they just learn it." And I was like, I felt some type of way. I was like, "What you mean we learn it?" And I'm not gonna lie, seeing this kind of just showed me again, like, maybe, yeah, like, guys, I guess we really don't know how to do stuff. Like, we kind of like have to watch it be done to be, to get an idea. Because essentially, Frankenstein, he's like, hey, I don't know what love is, but based on what Ronnie Reed has been showing me what love is, I gotta like find a woman, I gotta court her, I gotta take her to all these places, we gotta have all these experiences. And that's what he really just tries to do. So like, whatever Ronnie Reed did in the movie, he tries to do with the bride. So the whole time he's trying to convince her that, like, oh yeah, we go way back, like, this situation, while it looks weird, we've been here. Like, me and you have a relationship, we have we have rapport, like, we've been together for a long time. And she's just, the whole movie, like, like, okay, well, shit, if you say you my nigga, hopefully this experience would like spark the love to remind me that you my nigga. And it just dives into, and then that's the main story. But there's a lot of like side stories. There's a lot of like going on in the background that does take away from the movie. I will not lie, because it doesn't really go too deep into it. But I feel like the main story of like, Frankenstein trying to get this woman to fall in love with her is beautiful in my opinion. I feel like it was different. I like the way they executed it. And I like the social change aspect of the movie, and how like in this time, niggas really do be thinking that, not niggas, the males essentially have more power than the women in this time, so they were taking advantage of the women a lot. Like, there's this one scene where Frankenstein takes Ida to like a club essentially, and like and it's so funny because that's what I'm saying, I like the idea of that, like, Frankenstein is like, he's not insecure, you know what I'm saying, like, he knows she's beautiful, and he knows he loves her, clearly, because he wants, he's desperate. Like, there's so many times in this movie where this nigga, like, did so much desperate shit that it's like, in reality, it's weird, but it's kind of like, it's like, it's one of those where it's like, oh, like, he's trying, you know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta give the nigga credit for trying. Ma?
Good news.
Ma?
I found the key.
Mom, I'm recording.
Sorry, babe. Oh, leave my lantern.
Okay, actually, now let's get this mommy on here. No. Don't try to run away now.
Yeah, no. What's up, you only mommy?
Yeah, exactly. So now you gotta come and see. Now we gotta, where did you
Guess
find it?
where I found
Under
it?
the bed?
No.
Where?
Right here. I'm not doing fucking fucking. I'm here right here. They told me. They told me it's better. They didn't take it over there.
Exactly.
We might give it to someone else to give it to them.
Yeah.
And now they're doing, oh shit.
So yeah, to the listeners, you guys, that's my mom. Shout out to my mom. And then to the watchers, this is my mom. As you guys, I told you guys, I do this at home. There's ain't no cut my rap. This is the podcast headquarters. That's why it's so funny. I'm always telling myself, like, dang, like, eventually I don't have to do anything I don't want to do. And that's what I always be trying to show you guys with this podcast. You don't have to do anything you don't want to do. Everything I do is what I want to do, literally. With, regards to Allah and of course, to the law. Amen. I be like, dang, I would love to have like guests on here, but you gotta be okay. First, you gotta get, vetted by moms. If my mom don't give you that she reads aura. So if my mom can't read your aura and give you that stamp of approval, you can't even walk in the house. Respectfully. It's been so many tangents. So many girls I done let in this house that didn't pass the aura test, but nigga thinking with his other head. So I let him in here, and then I get taught the lesson that my mom was trying to avoid, and I end up finding out these girls was weird. And then I'm like, okay, should've never did that shit. But now, I know better, so now, if they don't pass the aura test by moms, I don't even let them come in the house. So, if you don't get the aura test, you can't come in. But then on top of that, this my room, this my headquarters, so you can't be no weirdo. So that's why I ain't had no guests on here yet. But when I don't want to be cheap, and I do a studio, we gonna have a guest on here. But it's gonna have to be a nigga it's gonna have to be just a real person. Cause like I said, I'm not trying to use guests to get my podcast up anyway. I could do this by myself. You feel me? Oh God. But yeah, pretty much it just like I said, I like how they didn't make Frankenstein's character like insecure. Like even for his ignorance, he still knew like, okay, when we go to this club, if she want to be doing what she wants to do in the sense of like dancing, having a good time, I'ma let her. Like he was not. That's what I'm saying. Like man, he just like me for real, honestly. Because but I mean the difference between me and Frankenstein is right. If I was to go to the club with my girl, I'm gonna be dancing with her because I like to dance, like, But he was given that, like, if he wasn't a dancer and his girl was, like, very outgoing, he's the type of nigga that he'd go out with his girl and then she could do her thing and he would just be chilling in the background. So I respect that aspect of the movie because we need to see more of that. I'm telling you, if they show more, in general, like, how relationships supposed to go and how secure niggas supposed to be, you know what I'm saying? Niggas to realize, like, yeah. And granted, I know, it is hard. It is hard sometimes to, like, see your girl dancing with other guys or put in her position where I guess she could be dancing with other guys. But it just one of the things where, like I said, or I've learned, a woman go be a woman. So you just got to let her do her. If she respects you enough, she's going to respect you. And if you're doing what you're supposed to do, you shouldn't have no worries either. Because, I'm just be honest, you could be doing everything you're supposed to do and she's still going to act aloof. So it's better off that you don't do the most. It's better off that you be in a secure position. I'm telling you, no low words to live by. It's better to not crash out and look mature than to crash out and then, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. And then look tender. You can care, but you don't need to crash out, bro. You don't need to crash out. Because these girls, I'm telling you, bro. I'm telling you, it just don't be worth it. But yeah, they're at the club. She's doing like some crazy ass dancing, you know what I'm saying? Like she's dancing like a person that just got brought back to life. Frankenstein's over there at the table just like having a good time just watching her, you know what I'm saying? Just looking like Frankenstein. And then I guess it's the 1930s. Niggas is on some rapey shit. So eventually, they see a woman who they assume is vulnerable to herself that they can take advantage of. They started off like they're dancing with her, but then they start kind of like groping her and like because my notes I keep it a bean. I said they could low key sexually assaulted her. It's one of those things where it's like being able to watch it, you see what's going on. These guys was finna rape her. Like if they wasn't finna rape her, they was finna at least touch all over her and shit because she's dancing and they're like kind of like I was like, oh, she freaked out because I'm thinking she kind of like I want to say she's inviting it. But I'm thinking, okay, like, it looks like a Molly party, like, where you guys, it looks like an orgy party, you know what I'm saying? Like, an orgy party in a sense, like, without the sex. But, a party where people, like, they get faded and they just start rubbing and touching on each other. And it's like, we're not together, but we're gonna dance, like, really sensually, sexually, whatever. So I'm thinking it's one of those parties where it's like, everybody in there all freaked out, and this is just one of those, it's just a freaked out dance. I'm thinking that's what it is. But then she's like, violence, like what the fuck? Like she starts saying like violence and like she starts looking uncomfortable, and like a real nigga, Frankenstein is like, hey, get the fuck off my girl. We out of here. Ma?
So whatever you're doing,
Yeah, so if you could do my room last. Oh man. What a day. And it's so funny. It's just so funny because I thought I did it right today. I was like, man, I woke up early. I'm gonna get this podcast early. Everybody's gonna be asleep. No interruptions. Why? The house is getting clean. So, my room gonna get clean. But I told them to let my room be the last room if it can. So that way I could finish the episode as much as possible. So, I'm going to, looking at the time, I'm going to have to wrap up The Bride right now. I know I'm not supposed to be going this deep into it, but I really liked the movie. I want to make sure you guys got that. So, essentially, The Bride was really good. I liked it. I definitely recommend it. It's a nice couple movie. I feel like even as a guy, like, you can take a couple notes there, like how to just, like I said, I just feel like society's getting to that point where the weird shit that niggas was on, hopefully we can stop being on that, and like we can kind of start like seeing women for what they really are, which is more than just objects. And I liked how the movie really presented that, like, yes, there was like during this time it was really heightened that women was really just taken advantage of, but with The Bride, she kind of like started a revolution where the woman was like, nah, we're not going for this no more. And I like that because it's like, yeah, like I said, when you don't be that horny, when you can control your sexual urges, you see how freaked out a lot of these niggas are, and you see how a lot of their freaked out decision making, like you see the choices and how they end up, and you realize that, like, damn, maybe if this nigga wasn't so horny, it wouldn't be no shit like this. You know what I'm saying? Women be horny too, but like when niggas be horny, it's like, niggas be doing the most. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I like how the movie was kind of like put a nip in the bud. Like, nah, like women aren't going for this no more. We're not finna just let you guys just be taking advantage of us, treating us any type of way. It was a little extra though, because the women had guns. Like, the police was kind of like, it was interesting. That's what, like I said, it was like giving like a musical. It was giving like High School Musical vibes at certain points, but not in a way that it was pulling away from the story. It's just in the sense of, like I said, like, if it was real life, the first crime they would have did, they would have got caught. They was getting away with a lot of shit. You know what I'm saying? So that's what let me know, okay, this is the type of movie that it's gonna be that type of movie where it's like, enjoy the movie, but there's a message here too. That's why, like I said, I like the message. I was like, yeah, like, oh man, I like that. Frankenstein started off as like a kind of like on some like, I'm finna just make you my girl, but then eventually was like, you know what, you're right. Let me allow you to fall in love with me if you choose to. And if you don't want to choose to fall in love with me, I'm okay with still just loving you. And I was like, I ain't gonna lie, like, it hurt. It hurt to see, because I'm like, that's really how it gotta be. I ain't gonna lie. Like, I'm telling you guys, a woman's gonna be a woman. The only way you're gonna win is by just understanding that and then truly wanting her happiness. Like, I feel like if you truly move intentional with women and you truly have no bad intentions, you're not gonna ever have no regrets. I told you guys 2 episodes ago, I said, hey, I'm able to be single right now because I'm like, I know that if I was to be dating and I know I'm not financially, or, you know what I'm saying, where I want to be, I might indirectly take it out on the relationship. I might push stress. It might add stress onto, the possible partnership. So that's why I'm like, okay, I'm gonna chill out till I can be in a situation where it won't be like that. I feel like with guys, like, you know what I'm saying, like I said with the horniness, if you control your horniness, you can see that the decision making and choices you do maybe might not be the smartest, and you'll see that, okay, am I doing this because I want to do this, or am I doing this because I just want to fuck? If you're doing it because you want to fuck and you all with it, go for it. But if you're knowing, okay, I want to fuck, but I want more than that, or at least I don't want to come off like, you know what I'm saying, I don't want that to be the driving force, because I'm telling you, when that's the driving force, you do stupid shit. You know what I'm saying? That's essentially what I'm saying. And I like how the movie is like, man, like, guys, let the woman make the choice. If you a real nigga, like Frankenstein was showing he was, she gonna fuck with you. Even if she, during the whole movie, I'll keep it a beat with you. She's literally telling this nigga, I don't fuck with you, bro. I don't want you. I do not want it. I'm cool. I'm this. And I'm like, dang, Frankenstein. And he's over there. He's just over there. I like her. I love this energy. Like, she, like, real nigga. Like, he's like, man, that's what I want. I want that woman that's gonna stand up for herself. Like, you know what, on me, I choose you, but I still want you to choose me too. You know what I'm saying? That's what niggas want. Niggas want a girl that I know if she's fucking with me, it's because she really fuck with me. But I know that if she's in a situation where it's like, okay, quote unquote, a nigga better than me walk in, she's not going because she's not that easy. Like, she's a challenge, bro. You think I'm with her, you know what I'm saying? And you think I'm with her, so you thinking it's easy, but in reality, it's like, no. She's like, nah, this nigga has proven to me that he could handle this, so I'm like this. So you thinking just because you got some money, you got status, I'm gonna just fuck with you? Good luck, Charlie. That's my type of woman. The type of woman that's like, and that's why y'all be so surprised. Women be so surprised sometimes when they see niggas and be like, dang, that nigga let her talk to him like that, or you know what I'm saying, a situation where it be like, where the girl's kind of aggressive or whatever. He is right where he want to be. Trust me, Minati. He's right where he wants to be. No nigga, well, you know what I'm saying? But if a guy is with a girl and she's a little bit more aggressive, he know what he doing. You need the aggressive ones. Because even my dad, you know what I mean? You know when they say you kind of date your mom, essentially? I feel it. Because I know I'm not going to date my mom. You know what I'm saying? I don't know weird shit. But I know I'm going to date a woman like my mom, too, in the sense that, like, yeah, that kind of, because my mom be putting my dad in place. Respectfully. Because I know, Dad, if you watching this later, I don't want you to take it no type of way, Pops. I love you, Dad. But we got to call a B to B. We got to keep it a spade to spade. You know what I'm saying? You love Mom because she don't take none of that BS. You know what I'm saying? And that right there, like I said, is really dope. But, yeah. So I give The Bride 3.5 out of 5. It is definitely a guilty pleasure movie. It's definitely one of those movies that I feel like you should watch with your girl. If you have a girl. If you're a guy. Just watch it and just take notes. Like, essentially, that's how a woman mind is. Take notes. How could I navigate around that? If you can't navigate around that, you probably still have some work to do. I'm telling you. Because if watching that movie offends you in any type of way, you're pretty much part of the problem. Like, you shouldn't watch. I don't think you should watch that movie getting mad at anything she does, really. Because you really should see how, like, she's really the oppressed one. You know what I'm saying? Because essentially, you know what I'm saying, she's low-key an escort. She gets killed. And then she gets brought back to life. Without no, you know what I'm saying, nobody asked her. Nobody, you know what I'm saying. And then she's told she got to be somebody's bride. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of forcing going on. So to see her kind of like reject the things, I guess that you could say, like, reject the plan or the thing that was set for her to do, and instead like choose and say, like, I'm going to choose my own thing. But then near the end, being like, you know what? Like I said, Frank, hey, look, in this other aspect, I'm going to do my own shit. But Franklin, this nigga showed me he's a real nigga. I'm going to fuck with you. I actually kind of like you. I like that. Because it's like, that's how I feel like with me. I ain't going to lie. Like I said, I might be a little biased. But I'm like, that's what I be trying to say. If you a real nigga and she a real one, she going to respect it. She going to respect it. And that's what I be trying to tell niggas. If you're truly a real nigga and you feel like she's truly a real one and she doesn't respect it, she's not really a real one. I've always come to that conclusion because I'm like, when I wasn't a real nigga and I wasn't getting real women, it made sense. You know what I'm saying? Because I wasn't on my shit for real. I was kind of BSing, so I was getting BS results. But since I've been on my shit, these last 2 years, I'll be honest, the women that I feel like I haven't, or I guess you could say I've been like, damn, like, I thought I had a chance with her. In reality, like, when some time passed and I kind of like, you know, I'm able to kind of just see how they, because I ain't gonna lie, there was a time where if they didn't work out with a girl, man, I would just remove them. I don't have no beef. It's just, I don't want to see you. But now, you know what I'm saying, I told you guys after that one situation when that one girl told me that, like, yeah, I kind of, you lost more points when you removed me because it kind of came off like you was in your feelings. I was like, is that why these girls be tripping so hard? Because I be removing them? Like, I didn't know y'all cared that much. Like, I'm telling you, girls are funny. They'll be over there. They can do it, but you can't do it. So, like I said, and now, like I said, now that I'm winning, I kind of want y'all to see me winning anyway. So, yeah, you can keep watching me, shorty. I don't care. Especially if it's like, also shit where it's like, if we didn't get that far anyway, no harm, no foul. We could go back to being friends. You know what I'm saying? That's how I look at it. If we're not enemies, let's not, you know what I'm saying? Like, let's not be enemies then. You know, type shit. So, now, you feel me? I see, I'm like, okay, cool. let me not remove them, let me not unfollow them, let me just let them do their thing. But essentially, once I learned from there, I said, okay, I can't be in a situation like that again. But yeah, you feel me? That's it. I have to say that. That's how women are, you know. But yeah, 3.5 out of 5. I recommend it. Go in there, take notes of how to play it cool, and like, you know, essentially just let her choose up. And if you're a real one, she gonna choose you. So now, it's funny because I think I'm gonna name the episode "Underwhelming" because that's what this movie was. I seen this week the movie Undertone, which everybody and they mama. Let me not say everybody and mama, but every advertisement that I've been seeing has been saying that this movie is so scary. This movie is so this. This movie is so that. This is the. What the heck? Every time I open my phone, it's like there's just something new. I don't have. What package do I have now that's on the way? So what? Maybe this is my should. I can only assume. I have a little brother, y'all. So what is this? I don't even know what this is. I'll be so scared sometimes, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, especially because I'll be worried. Cause I'm like, is this something that I didn't know that's supposed to be getting delivered? But yeah, y'all. Movie called Undertone, right? Cool. They talking about something. This is gonna be the scariest movie you gonna ever hear. So when you hear something like that, you already kind of put in a little caveat on it. Like, I should have known, right? And you know, it's so funny. I did know, but it just looked so fire in the trailer that it was like, there's no way they could like fuck up the execution of this movie, right? In the trailer, I don't think we gotta go too much in the trailer, but essentially, it's a movie about this girl that is the host of a popular paranormal podcast, and she becomes haunted by terrifying recordings that were mysteriously sent her way. Which is cap, because it wasn't mysteriously sent her way. Her co-host emailed it to her. So it was mysteriously sent to him, if anything. But I guess that's the whole thing in the movie is like, was this on accident? Or was this all a plan? Cool. Boom. We followed this shorty. She looks really pretty right here. Nina Kiri Evie. Evie? I'm sorry. I'm probably butchering the name. Evie? I'm sorry. Evy. My English has been terrible these last couple of days. Evie. She is the host of the podcast. Adam DeMarco, Justin, is her co-host, and we don't see him in the movie. He's just the voice. We just hear him talking. Michelle Duquette is the mom. And then everything else, yes. Everybody else, voice. Which is actually kind of funny. And I think that to me is kind of like where the movie fell short at. Let's see what they got. See, this one got a 6.3 out of 10. I don't know how. I give this one a 2 out of 5. Yeah, I give it a 1. But I feel like that's me being really harsh. The movie did good in setting up a paranormal space, an area of dread. Like, I did feel, you know what I'm saying, a little worried watching the movie. But as far as just horror goes, I just feel like it missed a lot of the points where it could have hit on. And it's because it was audio, I think. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not a podcast. You're not supposed to just... It's a movie. You know what I'm saying? You can't just listen to a movie and enjoy it. You know what I mean? I don't know. Maybe I'm just different. But, pretty much, we see this lady. She's a podcast host. She hosts a paranormal podcast. Like I said, I have notes on it, but I'm just giving you, like, guys, a little summary on it. You know, she's on the podcast. Let's say recording episode 1. I don't know what episode it was. I don't remember. But let's just say they're trying to record episode 1 of the podcast. They're having a little back and forth conversation, and we're getting a little background about how she has a boyfriend, which I don't really... That's what I'm saying. There's so much plot in this movie that they put, or I guess, What did they say? There's so. My apologies, guys. I have to yawn. My apologies, listeners. There's so many ideas that they introduce in a movie that don't really get a follow-up or any form of execution that just makes it so confusing. Hold on, guys. My dad is calling me. Honestly, I'm going to just tell him to call me later, because every time this man calls me, it just be stuff that it be just like, dang, brother. And it's so crazy, right? 37. I've been doing this for 37 weeks. You would think they would get it by now. You would think they would know. On Thursdays, just leave Caduce alone. At least for the first half of the day. Just let my boy have his time to record, and then I'll be free. That's what I'm telling y'all. When I get the studio, it's really gonna be bad, because they're really gonna be like, dang, we really can't get to him. But yeah, so we see, but basically that's what I feel like the movie I did. Cause I remember I was trying to quote, I don't remember who said it, but there's a quote of someone that essentially saying that when making a movie or making a story, don't introduce anything that you're not gonna follow up or actually explain later. Which I feel like the movie did a lot, or I guess in these two aspects, bringing up the boyfriend aspect of her. I didn't really see the need in that. And her being possibly pregnant, because essentially the setting of the movie is the house, and it's really just the downstairs, I guess, kitchen. Yeah, just say the house. I'm not gonna say specific parts, but let's just say the house. The dining table where she records the podcast, and then her mom is upstairs. We're introduced to the mom, and the mom is basically bedridden, and I guess that's the whole point of the movie, to essentially show that, like, even though she's bedridden, like, I guess that's the caveat or the irony, is that, like, it's just me and this woman in this house. How is there all this weird shit going on? Like, this woman should not be able to move, but yet, you know what I'm saying, the movie shows things where it's like, okay, well, if she's not doing it, then who's doing it? And I guess it's supposed to be the ghost or whatever. Like I said, I really watch horror movies. I don't know what horror movies niggas be watching nowadays. But this wasn't it. I just couldn't really get into it. Like, I kind of fell asleep a little bit too. Like, and it's funny because I was with it at first. But pretty much, yeah, like, she's trying to record the podcast. She's talking to her friend Justin. Justin's like, hey, how you been? The same. And that too, that irritated me. Every time Justin would ask about how her mom is doing, she would just be like, she's the same. So it was like, well, why do you keep asking? Or like, why don't you just tell this nigga, I don't want to talk about this? Like, she really don't seem like she want to talk about her mom. Like, she even said it too. She's like, I'm kind of ready to be over with. She kind of want her mom to die. She's like, I'm tired of her having to, take care of her. So it's like, just that whole idea is there. And then, I guess, the real issue for the movie was that it didn't set enough of a world for you to understand the importance of what is going on. Because the movie doesn't really deep dive into too much background, and we're kind of just thrown into, okay, cool, she makes a podcast, okay, cool, Justin gets sent these audio tapes, okay, cool, she started listening to the audio tapes, okay, cool. Allegedly, I guess if you get to the last tape, you get possessed. But it's like, granted, like, how can we really falter? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's one of those things where it's like, they're learning about the thing as they're watching it, and it's just like, okay, like, it just seemed like it was inevitable. Like, she didn't really have no option. Like, she was going to lose regardless. And like I said, they didn't really give too much character for me to really, like, I didn't really feel bad for her. Like, I didn't really fall for the character. They didn't really, like, the stakes weren't high enough. They didn't give me enough reason to care about what was going on, Like I said, the trailer did a better job at that. I'm enjoying the trailer. I'm watching it. I'm like, okay, it seems like it's gonna be like they made it seem like the jump scares were gonna be more visual than auditory, but all the jump scares were really auditory. And it's like, you're really just sitting there just watching this lady sit there listening to stuff, and they're just giving like different angles of her listening. So it's like, imagine, right? Imagine you watch the movie on mute. You're really just seeing her just sitting there. And she's talking. And it's like, okay, that's scary-ish. Then at one point, her boyfriend calls. And that's what I said, like I said, certain ideas, I just didn't get the point of it. Her boyfriend, the relationship is already fucked up. And she is over here taking care of her mom that you have not been supporting her in. But you decide to throw a party for y'all and then tell her to pull up to the party because she's been at her mom's house taking care of her for too long. Like, it's just like, bro, the boyfriend sounded so shitty that the fact that she went to that party and came home, and then when she comes home, her mom is like on the floor and shit, is like, I didn't feel bad for her because I was like, girl, you're dumb. You literally, you know what I'm saying? Like, why'd you go? This nigga don't fuck with you for real. And then we don't see the nigga. So it's like, okay, we only hear the nigga. Don't really hear too much about the party. Then the next day, she, I guess, finds out that she's pregnant. Okay, cool. The next day, she's drinking wine. So I'm like, bro, you just found out that you might be possibly pregnant and now you're drinking alcohol. And then on top of that, Justin even like comments on it. He's like, oh man, hope you're not drinking again. And then she looks at the bottle. And I'm like, so you already have an issue or you have a history of, you know, alcohol being a negative factor in your life and you're about to drink again? Okay. I won't mind the judge. I just, like I said, honestly, it started off okay. I won't say it started off strong. It started off okay and just never really took off for me. So I just feel like it was kind of underwhelming. I kind of was like, okay. And then when it ends, bro, we're literally just kind of like, it's kind of mostly it's just left up to interpretation. You know, it's like, okay, well, if it's left up to interpretation, then I don't know what you really want me to think about it, because from the whole time, like I said, the movie, I'm just like, okay, this girl's getting possessed by the tapes, but who sent the tapes? Why is she getting, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was so many unanswered questions that by the time the movie ends, you're just like, okay, like, that's it? So yeah. So I give Undertone 2 out of 5. Sorry. You know, like I said, go see it. Let me know what y'all think. Let me know what y'all think. And then, you know what I'm saying? Come back to me and let me know if you guys feel the same way, because I ain't gonna lie. I seen someone that I follow. They posted it and it was like, man, this movie was really scary. And I was like, eesh. Maybe I'm too much of a critic. You know what I'm saying? Because I know, I'll be honest. I am very tough. I'm a tough grader. But I'm a tough grader because my teachers were tough graders. You know what I'm saying? So I just get it from them. And then, now that we are done with the movie reviews, let's get into some anime. Dang. Okay, so I was worried that this was going to happen. It looks like there's no new episode this week of Jujutsu Kaisen. So if we're just going off of last week's episode, it was Tokyo Colony number 4. It was Tokyo Colony number 1, part 4. Takaba handles the minions while Fushiguro has his own showdown with Reggie. Pretty much, we're just continuing on with the Tokyo Colony arc. And, you know, they're still trying to get some points. Yuji in the last episode just got some points and changed the rules. So we're now seeing what happened with Fushiguro's side. Because pretty much we're seeing Yuji's POV. Now we're seeing Fushiguro's POV. And he got set up. And then pretty much we pick up where the people that he was going to get set up by are revealing their plan. And how, like, oh, so the girl that brought you to me, I use her. You know, she brings me weak people or strong people. If it's weak, I kill them and take their points. If they're strong, I try to get them to join our team. And then Fujiguro was like, okay, well, what are you going to do with her? He's like, you know, I'm going to fuck with her. And she's like, nigga, he my prince. He finna take care of me. So Fujiguro was like, oh, okay, so this nigga's, he tricked you. Okay, all right. And he's a reincarnated sorcerer. So there's either the reincarnated sorceress or the activated sorceress. Yuji fought the activated sorcerer. And it's weird too, because it's looking like the activated sorcerers have more powers or colder abilities than the reanimated ones, because the nigga that they introduced in this episode, cold. And when I found out his power, I was even more scared, because I was like, oh, yeah, I could see how this guy would be a freaking problem. And, you know, it's one of those things where I thought the peak of ridiculousness in character, I guess, you know, design, or I guess abilities, was Gojo Satoru with his Infinity. You know what I'm saying? Like, you literally can't beat Infinity. So I thought he was like the peak of attack moves. But then this guy they introduced, I guess he can bend reality. So it's just like, hey, that's the ability. That's what they giving him. So Fushigiro's talked to one of the reanimated man, and the reanimated guy is pretty much telling him, like, I ain't gonna lie, I think that, dang man, you know his Asian name, so it's hard for me to remember him. But Kenjaku, he's like, I feel like Kenjaku's real plan isn't to make everybody have powers. I think he just wants to kill all the sorcerers. Like, once he gets all the strongest people, it's going to eventually become a stalemate, because we're going to all be equal. We're going to be too evenly matched that it's not going to be no point, and then we won't have enough points, so we're going to be like, okay, well, I'm going to just do my own thing. And then, you know, the whole point of the fact that the game can never be ended too, he's like, yeah, I feel like Kenjaku's plan isn't really like to bring cursed energy to the world or make more sorcerers. I think he just wants to take everybody out. He's like, I think he's going to drop a bomb. So I don't know if that's foreshadowing. I don't know if we're supposed to pay attention to that, and that, like, maybe there's some truth in it. You know, like I said, I already kind of know how this show ends. You know, I've already watched the videos, but I'm still watching it to see how it plays out. And then, yeah, you know, so he's talking to him, and that's what he's saying. And he's like, okay, well, shit, I ain't gonna lie, my name's Fushiguro. My plan is to get some points and, like, change the game or whatever. So pretty much Fushiguro and the guy that's reanimated are like, okay, well, we don't see eye to eye, I guess we gotta squabble. So we see an eye get dropped, and it blows up, and the art style, amazing, peak. Shout out to the art, the writers and the drawers in the show. So we see that happen, and then pretty much Fushiguro gets into a squabble with him. It's a pretty good squabble, and at first it's so weird because you know, sometimes this show shows death, but sometimes it gets so tame that you forget that, like, yeah, these niggas can really kill niggas in this show, because Fushigiro's fighting the guy, and, like, you know what I'm saying, they're squabbling. They eventually at one point get knocked out the window. Man, Fushigiro's, he's lucky, nigga, I ain't gonna lie. And he's like beating that nigga ass with the freaking back of the blade, and then, like, he gets knocked down, and he's like, you know, I need some points, or I don't know what he said, but he's like, bro, like, I need to stop letting this get to me or whatever. But eventually, he kind of walks up to the guy that he was fighting, the guy that was reanimated, and then he just kind of like, or because I'm like, I want to say, who did he kill? Because he didn't kill the reanimated guy first. Dang, I apologize, guys. But pretty much, he kills one of the people that was on their side, and then he kind of like feels bad after, because he's like, damn, like, I know I need some points and stuff, but I don't want to be like that. Like, I don't want to go that crazy. You know what I'm saying? So let me see. Yeah, it was this guy, this bald head guy. No, not bald head. It was one of the people that was on his team. And yeah, Fushiguro was doing his thing. I ain't gonna lie. He had Max Elephant and everything. So yeah, he uses Max Elephant, and he knocks him out the window. So they're falling. Fushiguro grabs the nigga, starts beating him with the back of the blade, bro. They fall onto the roof, and this is one of the minions of the guy that got animated. And bro, I kid you not, that nigga Fushiguro slices that nigga in the head, bro. For my habits. But yeah, someone just called me. I feel so bad. I don't know. It says toll free. I doubt that. 877. Let's see. Let's see who this person called me was.
We know times have been tough, and if you've been struggling to keep up with credit cards or...
So yeah, pretty much, I ain't gonna lie. Sorry, but yeah, I ain't gonna lie, cause like I said, it be seeming like Fushiguro don't be trying to kill niggas. So to see him just like kind of was like, fuck it, I'm gonna just cut this nigga. He cuts the nigga, right? So then after, right, cool. Then this guy that got reanimated, right, comes back because he's like, or that a new person comes up and he's like, oh, he pretty much sees that I'm gonna fight. What you call it? He sees that Fujigiro's fighting two guys, and he's like, "Bro, that's not fair." Like, I don't even, and it's so funny because I don't think he realized like, okay, who's the bad guy, who's the good guy. I think he just seen that, okay, like, well, 2 versus 1, that's not fair. So I'm gonna just jump on this guy's side. So that's why it was nice because even Fujiguro mentions it later, like, I'm glad you're not my enemy, bro, because bro, what? If this guy was the guy that had to fight Fujiguro, it would have been a problem because essentially he comes through. He joins Fushiguro, he ends up being on his side, and then he fights the guy that could, you know, take his limbs off and put his limbs back on and stuff. And essentially he whoops his ass, and it's funny because even when he's introduced, it's like a troll scene because I guess his character is a comedian. I'm trying to find the guy that explained how the thing breaks down and everything. I did not think to like save it to the podcast stuff because I was like, oh man, like this guy did a really good like breakdown of it, but something told me, I don't know why I didn't think to like save it at the time. But yeah, it's this guy I follow on Instagram, and he does essentially he breaks down like anime scenes, and like I just started following him not too long ago. This is Gentleman. Make sure that I get it for you guys real quick so that way if you guys want to follow him, you guys can follow him as well. I think it's, yes, Manga Nimist. I hope I didn't say his Instagram name wrong. But yeah, so he was like, oh, who is, I got you guys right now.
Was the Wi-Fi, what would the reverse... Reggie Star could have booted...
Reggie Star, yeah. So
what
that's
on
what that
earth
is.
was this entire scene?
Which is weird.
So rumor has it we...
Oh my gosh, guys. I tell you guys every time, bro. Every time I try my best to just have a moment to myself. Let's see. Okay, so yes, here it is. So, Takaba.
That was explaining Takaba's curse technique, the absolute GOAT that was just introduced in season 3. Let's talk about it. Alright, first of all, for any of my anime onlys, I do want to give a little bit of a spoiler warning because yes, we all saw Takaba pull up and immediately put belt to ass. He's clearly moving different, but his technique wasn't explained or even really revealed at all. So if you want to wait until that actually happens, you've been warned, it will be happening soon. But for anybody else who just wants to know what the hell this guy's deal is,
And I got you. You know what's weird?
First of all,
I didn't even like the post. I don't know how I was able to remember this post. Like, I didn't like it. I didn't repost it. I didn't do nothing. I be tripping.
Takaba is a newly awakened sorcerer, meaning he's not one of these reincarnated demons from the past, like the Heian era or anything. No, he was a modern-day guy living in Tokyo that was awakened with a curse technique because of everything Kenjaku was doing. And Takaba, if you couldn't tell, is a comedian. So his curse technique falls exactly in line with that. Because his curse technique is actually called comedian, and it essentially allows him to do anything, like negate damage, for example. And I absolutely loved this scene. They have cooked with his introduction. As the narrator explains it, Takaba's power is comedian. When he comes up with something that he's certain will be funny, it becomes reality. It's a curse technique capable of opposing even Satoru Gojo. But when it comes to his own curse technique, he's utterly clueless. For those of you in the back, reality manipulator. If he thinks something is funny, it becomes so. He's just not aware of his own power. So glad Takaba wasn't an enemy? You could say that again, Megaby. Explain.
And that, I guess, is the part that confused me a little bit, because, like, so anything he finds funny can become so. So, like, what does that mean? Like, so if he finds, so if he says, I guess that makes sense. So if he says, me not having taken damage gives me power, it's funny, I could do that. But yeah. But essentially, it was a really dope episode of, like, Takaba really coming through and helping Fushiguro. Great episode, loved it, 5 out of 5. But it's looking like, because even he explained it, he said that it's looking like they're not going to drop the rest of JJK's season till 2027. So it's looking like we're going to have to take a break, guys, sadly. But with one show that falls off, another show comes on. And Invincible just dropped, so we're gonna start talking about that. And also, too, guys, shout out to Your Rage, because I'm looking at my time, so I'm trying to get through these topics good.
So rumor has it we might not be getting the rest of the JJK Culling games until 2027. But honestly, that's not bad news. Let's talk about it. All right, so the latest.
I hate when niggas do that. That is bad news, bro. I don't know, you guys could wait. I'll be wanting to see these episodes, bro. I do not be liking to wait a year, bro. Because sometimes when I wait a year, I'll be forgetting about it. But, yeah. I guess because of the art schedule and the, schedule in Japan, they're not going to be able to have it ready. Pretty much, it's going to take too long for it to be dropped in 2026. So they're going to drop it 2027. And as you guys can see, or as you guys heard when I went earlier on the app, on Crunchyroll, they didn't upload an episode today, so I could only assume that they're not gonna drop any more episodes for the rest of the year, which sucks. It was a good run. It was definitely a good run. But then the Darwin Incident recent episode, I also watched it on Twitch. I actually did a live reaction. That's what I was like trying to say. Shout out to Your Rage, because I was on Twitter the other day. And I seen him reacting to JJK, speaking of JJK. And I was like, sorry. Yeah. And I was like, oh, what you call it? I thought that was my dad. That's why I had that look. I was like, this was my dad? Oh my God, I got so scared. But it was Mashud. Mashud, you need something? He just needs to use the bathroom out there. I let him use the restroom. But yeah. I see Your Rage. He was reacting to Jujutsu Kaisen, and like, I was like, okay, that's cool. Like, it was like a clip of him reacting to it. Didn't think anything of it. Then I checked the comments, and it was like, oh, if you want to watch the full video, go to the Patreon. And I was like, what? I go to the Patreon. His Patreon bio is literally him saying, oh, hey guys, like, come and watch me watch, like, TV shows and stuff and like anime for $3 a month. And I was like, you could do that? Yeah, here it is. Your Rage. He has Your Rage, his Patreon. And yeah. That's what's so crazy. And the title is literally Jujutsu Kaisen Season 3 Episode 10 Reaction. And then okay, so he does other things too as well. Like, it looks like he does like talking videos too, I guess. Oh, and streams. Okay. Cause I thought essentially, right? I thought just on here was just him watch movies, shows, and anime. He said watch movies, shows, and anime with me for $3, and I was like, you're telling me because you guys see how I started doing the podcast like this. I'm like, you're telling me I could just watch my anime and then just like live stream it and then just say I'm reacting and I can upload it to like Patreon and shit? Why haven't I been doing like, and it's so weird because shout out to DJ Ghost, shout out to Chima Reacts. I've watched reactors and I don't know why it took me like this week for me to be like I could react to shit too. Maybe it was because of the videos that DJ Ghost watched. I was like, dang, like I don't want to try to steal his steez. But I'm like, if legally, right, if like the anime creators are not gonna like try to take down my video, and I could react and give like commentary over the anime episodes, bro, I would love to do that. So I did that this week. I tried it out with this week with the Darwin Incident. The issue I did was I probably should have just watched it when I had the chance to watch it, because I kind of waited to the end of the day. Like it was on Tuesday. I was like, oh, I'm gonna watch it when I'm eating my food. But on the way home from getting my food, I started thinking to myself, it would kind of be weird if I like be eating and reacting to a video, like, cause like, hey, I'll be honest, when I eat food, I watch TV and shit. So I'm like, this is not one of those situations. Like, if you're recording, you're on camera, you're kind of like on the job. So, no food. So I kind of did the video after I finished eating, but it was kind of awkward. I was like, damn, so what am I gonna watch while I eat now? So I didn't know what to watch while I was eating, but I'm watching Neon Genesis. I haven't been talking about that on this podcast because it's so much to talk about with that show that I don't even know. So I've just been watching it and enjoying it. So what I've been watching right now, Neon Genesis, whatever the other thing is, but it's Neon Genesis Evangelion, and it's really dope. It's really dope. It's really just one of the shows where I'm like, I'm trying my best not to watch any reviews or watch the explanation. I'm really trying to watch it just as it's presented, because I have a lot of theories with that show, and that's why, like I said, I might just do those reactions, and then I can do that my theories on there. And that's why I was like, instead of me having to memorize the whole episodes now, I could just react to them and then just go off of the key points that I reacted on. You feel me? Make it easier. But yeah, so this week I did a live reaction to the most recent episode of the Darwin Incident, and I felt bad because I was like, dang, the one time I'm doing a live reaction, the episode was kind of like lackluster. Essentially, it was like, I don't want to call it a filler episode. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't want to do the Darwin Incident like that. Like, it doesn't seem like they have that many episodes to begin with, to where they would be doing, filler episodes. But pretty much in this episode, we're kind of just following up on what happened after Charlie's parents were killed, pretty much. So we're seeing the funeral. Charlie's nowhere to be found because he ran away after the whole situation. And then we're seeing the police officers kind of discuss who they feel is possible suspects, and possibly could have did it. So they're like, okay, cool, we have the suspects for who burned out the house, but we don't know who killed the parents. And because of the suspects, we can tell that, and the suspect was like basically saying that, like, yeah, we didn't kill him, we just burned the house down. But it's like, what are the odds? You know what I'm saying? But pretty much he's like, yeah, I think if the ALA are still involved, Fetty Wap, aka Barack Obama's character, he got away. So I don't know how that nigga a jail. He's like Pablo Escobar. A jail and him, or they just could never get along, because every time they catch him, or I think they catch him, bro, get free. And they freaking talk about how he doing some more terrorism shit. So somehow, some way, Fetty Wap find a way to get out of the jam every time. He a guy for that. I give him some respect. But pretty much now we're seeing Lucy, and like, everybody's pretty much like, where's Charlie? Where's Charlie? And we're kind of like seeing the sheriff's POV too, and like how at first he was against Charlie, but since I think just just peeling back the layers of Charlie and seeing that, okay, like, my bad, maybe I should have just actually had my own experience with this guy or this monkey. Let me not do Charlie like that. With this human before I came up with my own reservations, because essentially, yeah, like, after everything's playing out, now the sheriff is the nigga that's like, I want to adopt Charlie. And that's how the episode really ends, because pretty much Lucy and the sheriff, they low-key been like cool, you know what I'm saying, because Lucy's mom don't really do much for her, you know what I'm saying. So the FBI is kind of trying to find Charlie, because they're like, if we could find him, we could own him. It's a race to get Charlie first, but because Charlie and Lucy are really cool, she's texting him, and she finally, I guess, gets a spot that she can meet him at, so she meets him there. But the whole time she's getting followed by FBI agents, so that's where the sheriff comes in, because he's pretty much throwing the FBI agents off of her tail, so that way she kind of have privacy. But he kind of put two and two together. It's like, if anybody's gonna know where Charlie's at, it's gonna be her. So on like their third meetup, the sheriff kind of like pulls up. He's like, hey y'all, here, I'm gonna let y'all know my plan. But prior to that, Lucy and the sheriff get a call from the doctor of Charlie's mom, and they go visit him, and like they just have a little conversation, and then the representation or the representative of Charlie kind of comes through and basically like upstates them on the status. So it's an information based episode. It wasn't too much action, but it was more so like it was progressing the story on to like, here's where we are now, and here's possibly like our possible solutions for what we could do with Charlie. So Charlie's guardians, they're done. So we need to get us some new guardians, right? And I didn't get Lucy's objection to it, because I thought it made sense. Like, if Charlie is quote unquote an object, we need to have someone own him. Like, we need to have at least someone that we could trust. But when the representative told Lucy, like, yeah, like, we're looking for some new parents for Charlie, Lucy just got so offended. It's like, Lucy is like that one person, is like that one homegirl, right? For like every black person, because I know most black people, at this point we all know somebody that's white. But Lucy's like that one white person that like is more offended by racism than you are. Like, she's the person that makes you feel like, okay, maybe I am being too sensitive. And it's like, no, as a black person, you're never too sensitive when it comes to racism. But Lucy's the type of person that she gets so offended that she makes it such a big deal, and it's like, girl, this don't really got nothing to do with you for real. Like, that you making the plight not even seem that serious anymore because of how dramatic you're being. Because, and then, I don't know why they decided to do it, but they had her bent over. I know it might be seeming like, why doesn't they bring it up? The scene seems so, it just seems so unnecessary, the art style that they chose, the position that they chose to have her. She's pretty much yelling at the lady over the table, but like, she's like kind of over the table. They have her like bent over, and I'm like, why they got the camera angle on her booty? Like, why are they showing us that? Like, is this girl in high school? Whatever. But yeah, so she's like, how could you? You gonna just give Charlie some new parents or whatever? And it's like, yeah, duh. Like, it's not like Charlie got some extended family. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, Charlie really, he's already adopted. So it's not like we have some backup adoptive parents that know the old parents. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know how I'm able to like understand the scenario way faster than her. And I thought it was so funny too. They even had Ghirardelli chocolates, but they didn't call it that. They had like their own version of it was Ghirardelli chocolates without the name, but they had it drawn on there. I thought that was pretty cool. I don't know, just random things I'm mentioning with the episode. But essentially, yeah. So pretty much, I guess Lucy and the sheriff hear what they're trying to do, and I guess from that moment on, the sheriff goes to his mom or his girl or his wife. I don't know why I couldn't just say that. He goes to his wife, his missus, and is like, oh, hey, we should adopt Charlie. And I guess they talk about it, and they come up with their idea. So we follow up, and then that's when we go see Lucy meeting up with Charlie again. And that's when the sheriff kind of pops out now. He's like, and she's like, you've been following me? He's like, nah, I've actually been getting people that's been following you off of you. Because I just knew that if anybody was going to see Charlie, it was going to be you. So then he was like, all right, I got a new plan, Charlie. Mind you, the sheriff, the whole time, I ain't going to lie, that's on like redemption arc, I guess you could say. Because the whole episode before this, you think the sheriff is like an op. Like, at least in my opinion, like, I don't fuck with the sheriff up to this point. Because I just feel like he's not being reasonable. But out of nowhere, this nigga just gets so reasonable to the point where I'm thinking, I don't trust nobody. I'm so paranoid that I'm thinking like this nigga got some like deeper plan or something. But no, he legit went to his wife and was talking about, hey, I think we should adopt Charlie, and she was like, I'm down with it. And yeah, essentially, he tells Charlie like, yeah, are you down to come to my house? And Charlie's like, yeah. And then we kind of finished the episode off with Charlie kind of like getting accustomed or getting comfortable to the house. We meet the sheriff's wife, who is a polar opposite of him. Like I was saying with the other situation, having an aggressive girl, and the soft guy, just like that. Soft girl, but stern, and then aggressive cop. Like, the funniest part of the episode is basically when she's like, hey, the only rule, like, just like any house, there's rules. The only rule I have, and I'm thinking it's gonna be something serious. She's like, boy, if you go to the restroom, you have to sit down to pee. That's the only rule. I don't want you guys, shooting streams and shit. And it was just funny because she was like, do you know how long it took me to get the sheriff in line? And he gets embarrassed, and it was just like kind of cute or whatever. So it's just a cute episode, you know what I'm saying? We kind of just follow up, and then we see now where Charlie's going to be staying at, and we know now he's going to be staying with the sheriff. So that surprised me because I thought the sheriff wasn't going to be fucking with him. But like he was like, if anything, he was like advocating for like Charlie, like, nigga, come and stay with us, bro. Like, I've already he said I already talked to the missus. We already discussed it, and it's okay. You can come through. So now, getting into more media stuff, the Oscars happened this weekend, and there's this woman that I follow. She does a recap of it, which I'm gonna just let her talk about because, like I said, I don't really care for the Oscars, but I care for it because, you know, Marty Supreme. It's so funny how ironic. Like, somebody said Marty Supreme losing all the Oscars is so Marty Supreme, and I thought it was so funny because I told you guys in the review, every chance he had to quote unquote win, he would lose at the end. And apparently, you know, shout out to Joe Budden podcast. I'm black, so I kind of just, when it's black creators, I'm more focused on the shit they be saying, or I guess the shit that goes viral for, than I am with like someone like Timothée Chalamet. But apparently, right, because this is going to be like a precursor to the whole situation. Not really, but it relates to it. He recently went on an interview where he kind of said that ballet and opera is a dying art. Now, I don't really care for it, but I don't really watch the ballet. I don't really watch opera. But even my Nigerian self knows that that's an art style. It's like painting. It's like, this is one of those things where it's like, you know what I'm saying? It's just one of those things where it's like, hey, society has all agreed that this is one of those things that is just like, we just all respect it. So nobody disses it. Even if you diss it, at least don't diss it in public. You know what I'm saying? So it's just one of those things where I guess it's just an unspoken rule that nobody criticizes ballet and opera. Timothée Chalamet, I guess, did the forbidden thing, and he discussed how basically they don't got no motion no more. Ballet is a dying art. Opera, like, man, nobody give a fuck about that shit. And it was even funnier because, you know, the girl that was showing feet in those chat rooms, she came out the woodwork talking about Timothée Chalamet, you are so wrong. You are so wrong for saying that. Like, I can't believe you would say that. If you really knew anything about, you know what I'm saying, opera, you wouldn't have that. Just for her to then, mind you, I ain't gonna lie. I'm saying this because Doja Cat kind of scared me. So I kind of, y'all know me. I watch certain people, and there's some people I don't speak on because I feel like it's gonna be just straight hate. But with her, I ain't gonna lie. I feel like I said, once she did that whole thing with the feet, and then like didn't really explain herself. It's kind of like with the Sydney Sweeney. When you get caught for looking racist or looking crazy, right? And you don't try your best to, like, especially knowing the times we're in, I feel like, and you don't try to read the room and at least like, you know what, y'all, it's looking crazy, but y'all know I love black people. Like, y'all know my plight. Y'all know who I'm with. And y'all just be like, you know what? However you interpret it, I interpret it. And then when we interpreted it, now you guys want to come back around to my son, bro, y'all had it wrong. Y'all know I'm not really like that. I'm going to go with the version of you that was smug. That till you seen the reaction, and I think that's what I'm learning too. Like, I guess that's what's so scary. Some of these people really be so disconnected from reality that they don't see the importance, or see the gravity of the shit they do till they get a punishment or there's a reaction to it. Excuse me. Which I always find it so funny because I was like, why wait till you lose your privilege so you appreciate the privilege? Y'all, all we do is tell you niggas how privileged and how you know, saying lucky you guys are. But then the moment y'all lose the position, now you guys want to come on with a little 20-minute apology video. No, nigga, that's fine for me. I'm appreciating my position while I have it. I'm not gonna do nothing stupid. Y'all see me. If I have a take that I feel like is like, oh man, I don't think I should be saying this in front of everybody, I say it on my podcast. Cause it's like, hey, if you go listen to it on there, you can't say I offended you. Nobody told you to come over here. That's why low-key don't be trying to clip, because things can be taken out of context. I'll not be scared. That's why I'm like, even, you know, just randomly, just like I said, while we're on there, I'm okay with possibly making clips and like making like viral moments off of me reacting rather than my podcast. Because like I said, I'm like, I know you need context with this, but if it's just a clip of me just watching some anime like I seen with the Your Age, I'm like, I think I could do that. So I was thinking I was like, yeah, I think I want to do clips of this. I said, I would look want this to go viral. Like, let's have a watch party. Let's do this. Like, let's theorize. I'm okay with that. But as far as me just having my opinion, let me just have my opinion. I mean, we're not going back and forth on the Stay Down LA podcast. Respectfully, I'm sorry. And that too is also why I can't just have anybody on the podcast, because I don't know. I'm not about to argue with you on here. Like, we could talk, but we're not about to fight on here. Come on, chill out. Respectfully. But yeah, Timothée Chalamet said some shit about ballet, and then Doja Cat, head ass, came in, basically was like, you wrong for what you said. And I just thought it was just so interesting, right? What I just thought was so interesting, I didn't have no issue with that until, right? Oh my gosh. Yeah, sorry, I see something. I didn't have no issue with it until I noticed how the Shade Room only posted the part where Doja Cat, and essentially it was like when she basically was like calling Timothée Chalamet out, but not the part where Doja Cat follows up and says how, you know what, I'm gonna be honest, y'all, I don't really even have an issue with what he's saying, and I'm gonna let her say it, because that's what I'm be trying to tell y'all. Sometimes I'm telling you, bro, we'll be so quick to, like, let me not say platform people, but we'll be so quick to be like, okay, like, man, I'm so glad this person's speaking up. I was like, oh man, look at this person speaking out. But it's like, really listen to the messenger too. Like, really pay attention to who's saying it. Like, with Doja Cat, I'm always side-eyeing her, because I just feel like she be just like, how can I get these niggas to, like, forget that I was in them chat rooms showing feed? Like, so sometimes I just feel like every time she thinks, okay, like the backlash is kind of going down, she comes out with a dance video, or she comes out with something. She just basically gets posted on Shade Room, and I always find it funny because, like I said, if you could get the Shade Room to be on your side, then you literally gonna have to kill somebody before they go against you, like, literally, because all she be doing is just these weird ass little videos and shit. Well, let me not say that. Like I said, I'm biased, so I'm hating on her. So I'm saying it from a position of hate. But she be doing these little shits, and all you see in the comments, LOL, I love her. I don't care what nobody say. I love her, and it's like, you don't care what nobody say, nigga. You do. But yeah. And I comment. I'm a hater, so I said, what? Y'all see me? She was in them chat rooms showing feet 6 days ago. No likes. Yeah. But that's why, honestly, I shouldn't have even did that either, because I'm wrong for that. You know what I'm saying? Because if she was to acknowledge my message, now I gotta stand on it. You know what I mean? Which I would, but I can then be like, oh, why are you mad at me? Like, why are you coming for me, bro? Like, cause like, nigga, you unprovoked type that. So I'm aware in that aspect too. But yeah, I'm trying to find her response to the Timothée Chalamet in the first place. And I mean, hopefully, shit, I wish I could find what he said to begin with too, but pretty much, yeah, she just came out like kind of like how everybody was at first outraged by it. It was just basically saying like, yeah, he's wrong. I probably would have TikTok for it. Timothée Chalamet and Chalamet and I guess you could say, yeah, controversy.
I don't want to be working in ballet or opera or things where it's like, hey, keep this thing alive, even though no one cares about this anymore. All respect to the ballet and opera people out there.
Those comments at a variety scene in Town Hall with fellow actor Matthew McConaughey sparked a little backlash on social media. Actually, Timothée Chalamet sparked a big old the internet can't stop talking about a backlash. Now, the pair were discussing keeping movie theaters alive when the Marty Supreme actor made the comment. It felt like a bit of a...
Oh. See, that's how like I said, I wasn't really too, you know what I'm saying, this is Timothée Chalamet. I already told you that's how I felt about the guy. Well, let me not say it like that, like on some shit where it's like, oh, he can't do nothing wrong. No, I think he's a good actor. I fuck with him. I kind of like him. But it's just one of those things where it's like, maybe he might not be the best person. You know what I'm saying? Where it's like, how he presents himself on a movie, and sometimes he just, like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, who can I say that does that? It's like, when they're on the job, they do no wrong, but then when they're off the clock, it's like, bro, just stop talking, bro. Like, please, he might just be one of those guys that's like, bro, let us see less of you, let us hear less from you, and just see more from you. Like, you know what I'm saying? And there's nothing wrong with that. I feel like I was one of those guys at first too. I feel like I now know how to navigate better to where I feel like now I could be seen and heard more, you know, equally. But yeah, I guess it's interesting, or I guess it's ironic, because it's like, as an actor, right? You know, you gotta be able to read the room. If your town or if your plight is, we should keep movie theaters open, but then in the same breath they're saying, well, why are they keeping ballet and opera houses open? Ish. It's like, well, they could say the same thing for you. Why keep movie theater open where we could just watch a movie at home? You know?
Wild choice, given that Chalamet comes from a family of ballerinas. Like, make it make sense. But he has called opera and ballet a dying art form before in the past.
I was like, no woes me thing, but you started working on movies, you started acting and pursuing your thing, and like, I started to get the sense maybe it was like opera or ballet or something. It's kind of like a dying art form or something.
This time around.
So yeah, it might be just personal with him, because even as I'm watching the clip, I'm sorry for the visual watchers. If you're a guy, you get it. If you're not, it's not gonna make sense. I did not realize how low the camera was, so that's my fault. Let me go ahead and let it get a little higher, so that way y'all don't have to keep seeing where my hands are going. But yeah, based on what she just said though, if your family's ballerinas and you, in a sense, like unprovoked, are saying, you know, opera and ballet is a dying art, it's probably personal. Maybe they wanted him to be in it, you know?
His opinion ignited pushback across the internet, from the classical arts industry to fellow actors like Whoopi Goldberg.
When you crap on somebody else's art form, it doesn't feel good.
And I guess that's where his, you know, that's probably what his explanation probably lacked, was, I guess, empathy. Because like I like the way that Whoopi Goldberg says that. You know, it's like, if you're in an art form, it's like me as a rapper saying that singers are, you know what I'm saying, like singing is a dying form. It's like, nigga, someone can say that about rap, you know. And it's like, probably just, you know, it's really just how you articulate yourself. You know what I'm saying? If it comes off like you just really giving good commentary, I think it's never like that. But if you're just like, man, that shit dead, and it's like, no, it's not dead. You know. As I'm saying, I think people just gotta stop making general comments for things they feel personally about. Like me, like I said, I told you guys how I feel about Timothy. I'm not gonna say he's the best actor to everybody. I personally feel like he's a good actor. I feel like he's da-da-da. So instead, I wouldn't just label him and just put a general statement on that. But maybe that's where the issue is.
Not everyone disagrees with Chalamet, however. A New York Times dance critic argued in an op-ed that the actor raised a valid question about the place of opera and ballet in mainstream culture. Now, despite the heat, the star hasn't burned all his bridges. Institutions like the Seattle Opera advertised a Timothy-inspired ticket discount, and the English National Opera offered Chalamet free tickets in hopes of changing his mind. So, the ping pong ball is in your court now, Chalamet.
See? That's what I'm saying. Is that all I gotta do to get some free movie tickets? Like, do I gotta just start saying, man, movies is dying. Nobody gonna watch these movies anymore. AMC, are you guys gonna like reach out to me and be like, Caduce, let's give you some free tickets. Let's change your mind. Shit. What else do I gotta say? Man, Benihana not that good. Am I gonna get some free Benihanas? Am I gonna get some free food? Cause I've been saying this. I'm like, I don't know what the financial threshold is, but it's like once you get to that certain point of having that much money, it's like you just unlock free shit. Like, I don't get it, right? You would think, and there is that half of people, because I know there's some niggas that will tax the fuck out of the rich, but there is that also the other side of people that's like, you know what, let's just give them this, because their position is just so high up that they could get us so much motion just off of just talking about us. And it's like, dang, I need to get to that position where niggas just want to be seen with me. They don't been, bro, we don't even want to sell you the products. You gonna sell us the product. Like, you are, you know what I'm saying? We're trying to buy you for real. Man. But like I said, I want to get there with my soul. I ain't trying to lose my soul. Doja Cat responds to Timothy.
So I realized that.
So this is the first thing.
By the way, opera is 400 years old. Ballet is 500 years old. Somebody named Timothée Chalamet had the nerve, big guy, by the way, had the nerve to say on camera that nobody cares about it. I'm sure you can walk into an opera theater right now, seats will be filled out, and nobody's saying a word as the performance is going because everybody has that much respect for it. There is an etiquette around opera. There is etiquette around ballet. It's amazing. It's an amazing theater medium. It's fucking beautiful. And people go there every day to the dance studio. Dancers show up 8 a.m., 6 a.m., whatever the fuck. They show up and they break and they bleed every single day. Just because they have respect for it. They love it. They love what they do. It doesn't matter if the industry is having a tough time at any time, which a lot of industries have a tough time. Your industry has a tough time. My industry has a tough time. Doesn't mean people
be so irritated, right? When like bad beautiful women just be saying dumb shit. Just be like, you're too beautiful to be saying shit like this. Like, that's one thing I gotta give Doja Cat though. She is beautiful on the set. Dead homies. Doja Cat is really fine. Like, I'm watching this video, and as mad as I want to be at her, I'm just like, you look really cute. Like, the skin looks good. You know what I'm saying?
The singers
care. The melanin there.
There's still an audience. People give a fuck. You show up in a nice outfit, you sit the fuck down, and shut the fuck up. That's the usual etiquette around those things. Maybe learn something from that.
So, I say that to say, right? Because I was just saying this the other day. I said, I promise you, this is right here. You know when they say performative? This is performative, right? Because she comes back and she essentially says, yeah, I have to do more research about it. He might not be all the way right, but he's not all the way wrong. It was just how he went about it. And like, me coming out and saying all I did, I just kind of wanted to be, pretty much, I just wanted to be a part of the crowd. You know what I'm saying? I just wanted to get some attention. You know what I'm saying? Bro. But it's just, I guess what scares me, because what it really was, like I said, I feel like I do all of these content space, all these, mediums, but I'm never to myself like, I want people to notice me that bad. Like, y'all need to notice me. Like, I need that attention that bad. Like, as much as I want attention, I never want to fake it. I never want to just snatch it. Because I always think to myself, if I get it for this moment, how can I keep y'all attention after? So I'm always like, okay, if I can keep y'all attention just off being me, I don't want to do nothing too viral. Like, shout out to Monica. Because, everything happening right now, it is what it is. Shout out to Monica. I remember I was talking to her at work, and she was like, oh, Caduce, you go viral if you do this. You go viral if you do this. I'm like, sis, like, and God bless her soul. I'm not just trying to go viral. Like, and if I am, like I said, I'd rather go viral for just being authentic. Like, I'd rather go viral for being me. Like, I don't want to just be like, damn, when I do videos like this, they work. But then when I do the videos that I like to do, they don't really, you know what I'm saying? And then I'm forced to just keep having to do videos that work. No. But I guess I'm saying that to say that you would think someone at Doja Cat's position wouldn't feel the need to, like, in a sense, like, fake it to get attention, because she literally follows up. This is her words, not mine. Right now.
By that. So I realized that in the heat of the moment, which I just feels like I'm doing.
Which is so crazy, right? Because like I said, as a psych major, you could just see. For the audio listeners, I know you guys can't see the video, and even for the viewers, I'm watching it, so I'm trying to explain it to you guys. But
like an apology video.
Like I said, psychology is all about human behavior. What you call it? Why did I just lose the word? Human behavior and repeated patterns. It's about patterns, right? So I noticed the confidence level is already different. You can just notice the difference in confidence level. Damn, man. Cause y'all know me, I don't like to go too hard on girls. Am I going too hard on this? Y'all? I'm probably going a little too deep. I don't need it. Let me not psychology break it down. I'll leave it alone. So I'll keep it surface level. Cause when it's women, y'all know me, I don't like to. I feel like a bully. I'm just leave it surface level. So we'll just discuss the comments. I'm not gonna psychologically
it's so
expose
funny.
her.
I am gonna come out and just say that I know nothing about opera. I know nothing about ballet as far as like the years that I spent in my adolescence doing ballet. But in no way, shape, or form am I like a real professional dancer.
And she can dance too.
I can relate to dancers in a way, but I'm not in that industry, so I don't know what it's like. I've never been to a ballet. I've never seen an opera.
Like, damn. Imagine, bro. And I'm saying this to say, because I'm like, in reality, it's past. It's beyond, it's beyond Doja Cat. In reality, it's really just the fear of, like, the ability to be able to go viral for not knowing anything you talk about, I guess. And, like, the way that people could just, like, the way that they all mobbed with her just because they had something they kind of, they had a common enemy that they could both agree and work together on. This is just like in the Darwin Incident, because Fetty Wap and the ALA, they don't really get along with every ideal, but they at least get along with the fact of they want to free the animals. Doja Cat and the humans and people, they probably don't all see eye to eye, but with this Timothée Chalamet thing, they all see eye to eye with ballet, so it's like, oh, we could easily mob against him. But you mobbing against him, and you ain't never seen opera, sis. You ain't never been to a show. So it's like, if anything, you kind of proved his point, which is so crazy. That's why I told you guys, I don't want to make videos like those. I said, I'd rather come to my podcast after taking time to process it, do some research, or not do some research, you know what I'm saying, regardless. But I'd rather do it fully here and break it down how I want to break it down, because then when you talk it out loud, you kind of, you know what I'm saying, your brain gears get to working, you get to see. But when you're so reactionary, you don't get a chance, and then you just post, you don't get a chance to, like, kind of go back and, like, take your words back, unless you do what she did, which is, like, come back 2 days later, because that first video was on March 8th, the next video was on March 10th, 2 days later, now you're like, okay, yeah, I don't really do this, but, like I said, the Shade Room is not going to post the second video, they're only going to post the first video. Why? Because it's not going to help the narrative they're trying to push of this nigga Timothée Chalamet looks stupid. But I say all that to say that allegedly Timothée Chalamet was, like, doing really good. Oscar wise, I guess he could have really had it. But when he did this, it's looking like they was like, oh nah, we gotta humble you. So I guess they saying that they snatched it away. But in my opinion, hey, I feel like Sinners was gonna win. Well, let me not say it, cause it's Oscars. You know what I'm saying? You never know. You know how these niggas do us. So I want to say I had hope for my nigga Michael B. Jordan, but to see him win like that was really, really good. And not to go back to the young lady that explains it. But yeah, that's pretty much all I wanted to say, was just like, I find it funny. Oh, thank you. Shout out to Mariah, man. Shout out to Mariah Bahati, man. I'm gonna text her out through the podcast. I find it funny that like I said, that the shit would have posted that part, but they posted the first part. But yeah, so let's get into the lady that explains the Oscars. I got you guys right now. So her name is the Lunch on Lawyer. The Lunch on Lawyer. I'm sorry. It be these Instagram names. I'm sorry. Oh, she's a Georgia criminal defense attorney. We talk about culture and the law. Oh, I should really, she's pretty too. But yeah, let's talk about the Oscar recap.
It's not even about Marty Supreme. It's the fact that y'all kept saying that there's no way Michael B. Jordan could win over Timothée Chalamet because Timothy was the clear winner, and my question is clear to whom? All I'm saying is next time.
Which even before we can get further, I don't know, like Marty Supreme versus Sinners on paper anyway. That there's no way that would have won. I don't know. So people. You know what I'm saying? Racism. That's it. That literally all to be, because there's no way they thought Marty Supreme was a better movie than Sinners. Like, I've seen both movies. Marty Supreme was a great movie. Like I said, it was like Uncut Gems, but Uncut Gems is better than Marty Supreme, and that's Adam Sandler. You know, and that's to say, man, because that sounded like a jab at Adam Sandler. That's to say that if Adam Sandler could give if he could play a serious role like that and like execute it that nicely, and like I said, I love Uncut Gems. I could watch that movie any day. Look, I might watch that today. Marty Supreme, I was like, man, it's too irritating. So yeah, like I said, it was a clear winner in my opinion.
Speak on Michael B. Jordan, put Oscar winner before his name. The discourse this award season has been so weird. Obviously, yes, Timothée Chalamet is a talented actor, and so is Michael B. Jordan. Michael B. Jordan has been acting dang near since he was in diapers. Why are we acting like he shouldn't be in the category of Best Actor at the Oscars, or like his performance was trash? I'm confused. That's what's been killing me about this entire discourse. Like, everybody nominated for Best Actor deserves to be there, including Timothée Chalamet, and his time will come. But the gaslighting and the shade on Michael B. Jordan has been. Somebody said, oh, well, Lindsay Lohan did the same thing when she was in Parent Trap. Grade A haters. Like, sometimes it's just not your turn. It wasn't Timothée Chalamet's turn. And I don't think it had anything to do with those comments about ballet, opera, none of that. And regardless of who wins the Oscar, it doesn't matter, because if you like a performance and you feel like they should have won, that's valid. Winning an Oscar doesn't mean that your favorite actor is not talented. But yes, I do think Michael B. Jordan should have this moment of being appreciated and recognized by his peers. I just feel like this whole conversation has been so weird.
So yeah, shout out to her, and we're gonna watch the part 2.
Anyway, moving on. Speaking of Sinners, y'all, they took us down to the juke last night. Okay, beautiful performance. My question is, Sinners on Broadway win? Producers, I want the plans for the show on my desk by Monday. Thank you. Also, Ryan Coogler won Best Screenplay for Sinners. Yes, he wrote an amazing screenplay. We know. Gross, buku money from the film. We know. Yes, 10s across the board for every single actor, performer, everybody who had anything to do with Sinners. 10 out of 10. But did y'all get into this fresh set of Oscar braids? Hallelujah, amen. The treble clef, the guitar, the parts were crisp. I'm talking Ryan must have been sitting in the chair, getting his hair finished, and then left the chair and went straight to the Oscars, because those braids were fresh. Of course, Pedro Keep It Check Pascal I got on today. He has a new Mandalorian movie coming out, a new Avengers movie dropping, and he's been in multiple TV shows and movies this past year. I truly know that other
Pedro Pascal looks clean.
If he even still does auditions anymore. Now let's get into Misty Copeland, because she performed, and that was so nice of her to grace us with her presence after she invented ballet. Now people are saying that she was selected to perform because of Timothée Chalamet's comments. Huh? Y'all think the Misty Copeland was asked to perform just to spite Timothée Chalamet? This is what I mean by the discourse being so weird.
Yeah, they ain't gonna lie. They are kind of giving Timothée Chalamet a lot more emotion. Dang, that ain't got emotion. I mean, he is dating Kylie Jenner too, so he probably got a lot of emotion right now. So I could definitely see how, like, one thing could not be causal of the other thing, but how, because of just where we are right now, how everything could just be taken out of context. So yeah.
Her being selected to perform had nothing to do with the comments. She was hired because she is the Misty Copeland. That's it, and that's all. Now, what was going on with production at the Oscars this year? I felt like I could still hear people talking backstage when it was silent, and everybody knows not to talk when you're off stage because your mics could still be on. Like, I feel like I learned this in high school theater. I don't know. It just feels like the whole production was off this year. Like, everybody could have used at least one more rehearsal. Absolutely nobody was marked safe from the Oscars snatching that microphone, baby. At one point, the host Conan O'Brien even called it out. As soon as one of the men from K-pop Demon Hunters started speaking, they snatched that mic and started the music. That was crazy. Now, we did get a few people speaking about no war and saying don't vote for anti-immigrant policies or politicians, but nobody was really putting a name on it except for
no to war and free Palestine.
I didn't say Priyanka was up there looking like this man when Kanye West said
George Bush doesn't care about black people.
Oh man. So yeah, that's the Oscars recap. I'm not gonna sit here and act like I super duper care about the Oscars, you feel me? But I definitely, you know what I'm saying? It's media. Gotta talk about that. And then also on Twitter, I guess because in relation to the Oscars, the Timothy, he lost all his awards. So all the nominations, they lost all of them. So, but it sucks because, man, I don't know, it sucks. Because if I'm not mistaken, I remember, I don't know what it was, but pretty much like even before Marty Supreme. Did Timothy do... How many movies did Timothy Chalamet do this year? Or maybe it was Marty Supreme. But pretty much they were trying to say that he's the king of December. And I was like, why they... Like, apparently each year they keep trying to make him the guy. And I'm like, you know, that's how society works. Y'all know that, right? Like, when you guys try to force somebody onto us, they never like them. But when you just let it happen naturally, that's why people hate industry plants. Because it looks so organic. But I don't think they be telling the industry plants that the industry plants. I think if they start telling the industry plant, act like you've been here, they will do it. But the industry plant be trying to make it seem like, boy, man, I'm so talented. My skills got me here. But I feel like if I was an industry plant, what I would do is just like, honestly, I probably wouldn't talk too much. Like, now that I think about it, if I was an industry plant and the whole thing is to question my credibility, I wouldn't give you guys a chance to question my credibility. You know what I'm saying? I would just keep trying to be as credible as possible. Just keep trying to make hits as much as possible to the point where the music just outweighs the questioning. And that's usually what I feel like most artists should do. And that's what I feel like I'm going to do. Just let the craft outweigh the noise. If you weak, it's going to show. If you dope, it's going to show. Regardless. But, you know, like I said, shout out to Timothy Chalamet. I fuck with you. Shout out to Michael B. Jordan. Shout out to Ryan Coogler. Shout out to the whole cast of Sinners. I guess shout out to the Oscars. And shout out to everybody that, you know, does Oscar stuff. You know? So Fetty Wap has some comments about the end of his era and like when it kind of ended and everything. And I just want to play some of that. I'm going to talk about it.
2015, 2016, by 2017, it was over. Like, 2017, that's when the Lil Yachty's and Lil Uzi Verts and all them, that was their time. 21 Savage, Kodak Black, that's all their time. You know what I'm saying? Like, people don't understand that part. So they just look at when it's time to get booked is, yo, tell Fetty we got 5,000 for him. What the fuck? Like, yeah, I just did 250. You know what I'm saying? And like, it was like, I'll go make 250,000 right now. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like, well, I could do this shit right now. Mm-hmm. My sister called me one day. Hey, bro, they just came to the house. You gotta pay some taxes and all this other shit. Ah, damn. How much was the tax bill? For all the houses at the time. He was like, damn. For all the houses. Oh, man. Heavy. Yeah, it was a lot. That shit was heavy. It was a lot. So I'm just like, oh, she's fucked up right now. Like,
that's dope. That's what I'm saying. I do definitely want guests on the podcast. Like my nigga Donovan for sure gonna be on the podcast for sure. Cause I know we could for sure have a good conversation. My nigga Devin, I need Devin to get on here too. We could just talk about some bullshit for hours. We can talk bullshit. We can talk Naruto. Not Naruto. We can talk about some SpongeBob, bro. And I'm sorry y'all because I'm looking at the podcast timer. We're at 2 hours. I genuinely, between me and y'all, I was looking at this topic list earlier today. I said, bro, I'll be happy if I just get 1 hour out of all this stuff. I'm 2 hours in. I'm like, sheesh, guys, I ain't trying to bore you guys. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to let me get through some of these topics a little quicker, so that way y'all could, you know what I'm saying? My bad, y'all. Like I said, I ain't trying to have you guys be here for 4 hours, unless you guys don't mind. But I feel like I want to try to keep it under three, because I feel like that way I keep y'all attention. You feel me? And overall too, like I said, my goal is to never stall. So I'm glad. I'm so blessed. I'm just so blessed that I never run out of anything to talk about. Every time I come on here, I'm always scared I'm gonna run out of stuff to talk about, but I never do. So thank you guys. But essentially, you know, shout out to Fetty Wap. Like, that's sad. You know, like, I feel like that's why, in a sense, like, you know, that's why you gotta take notes from the people that have been here before, and, you know, no offense to them, but don't do what they did. You know, now I know, as an artist, don't buy a bunch of houses. You feel me? Now I know, put myself in a position where if my wave is gone, I could still have enough money to fend for myself. That's what I tell you guys all the time. I don't go to school. Let me not say it like this, because that's going to sound really weird. I go to school because I like school, and I go to school because I also want to make something out of myself. But based off of my content, y'all should be able to tell that I want to be a content creator. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to be in media. I want to be on TV. Like, if I could be a... I don't remember what, like, let me not say it like that. Like, yeah, I just want to be in media, I guess. Like, I want to make videos. I want to make music, because I love music. So I want to do stuff with music. I want to do stuff with, like, TV, movies. You know what I'm saying? I love movies. So, like, I'm an artist. I'm clearly an artist. But because of, like I said, just doing my research and just doing the homework that I've been doing, art is only, you know, it can only make you so much money if you're not hot. You feel me? So I always just think to myself, like, man, there's so many people out here trying to make it. Let me just assume that I'm like one of them. Like, let me just assume that, like, what if I'm just one of those guys that just never gets noticed? Would I allow myself to keep being broke for the content, or would I not still want to live a good life? For me, like I tell you guys all the time, if this content shit never take off, you're not gonna be able to tell, because the life I'm living is gonna be as if a nigga's still doing. You know what I'm saying? But I'm learning now, you gotta just do it legally. That's it. So just go to school, get you a high-paying job that you have passion for, so at least it won't feel like work. So that way, even if you want to be a creative, you could do it, and you won't feel the need or the pressure to have to make money. You know what I'm saying? I don't feel like I ever got to break even from these podcast episodes. What's my ceiling? Well, I put $0 into. Well, I put, you know what I'm saying? I put how much money into my equipment, but overall, as far as like a payout, I'm not looking for a payout. I told you guys, if I get one listen, that's a payout to me, because like, hey, someone decided to give my shit a chance, so I'm happy. But I hear stuff like this and I feel bad, because I can only imagine being in Fetty Wap's position. Like he said, I was getting $250K. They talking about they got $5K for me. I can only imagine. That would feel like a slap in the face. Imagine I was getting $250K. You want me to be okay with $5K? Nigga, I can't do. My lifestyle is at $250K. You know how many? You know what I'm saying? Man. But that's why you gotta have that hustle. But you know, he clearly had the hustle in other aspects. You know what I'm saying? Had that Fetty, did what he had to do, and then on top of that, you heard him when they came with the taxes. I'm thinking he was gonna say they come like basically like, oh, we know you doing what you're doing. They came with the taxes. He said, when I bought those houses, it's like, dang, you know what? You're right. I don't think we talk about that enough in the black community, about like how when you get a lot of money, don't run it up, and if you do run it up, you're gonna have to pay on those things you buy. Like that right there, like I said, just put it so in perspective. It's like, you know what, you're right. Like, as much as, you know, 20 houses, that's as cool as that sounds, you gotta pay property tax on all those properties, on all those places. And like I said, if you're not as hot, if you was making $1 million a year and now you only making 500,000, but your bills are at $1 million, so I feel like as long as you keep your bills and your lifestyle at a $10K a year lifestyle, man, cause I feel like, yeah, that's cool. $10K a year, you know what I'm saying? Like, as far as like splurging, and you just keep the excess money and just do whatever extra shit you want to do. Come on now, you're gonna be winning. But you know, like I said, this is just breaking news. I don't know where I really fall on this, because if you guys know anything about my past, I am a Women's Day activist. I am a feminist. So I'm usually the guy that's like, believe her. You know what I'm saying? If a woman says she's been raped or, you know what I'm saying, assaulted, I usually try to hear the woman out before I say, okay, the person's tripping. Granted, I do have common sense though, so like I still weigh out the story. Like we gonna solve this crime, but I think that's what I'd be on some shit. Whereas like, you know, but that's, I guess you got to get into also, as I'm learning, you know, you can't be victim blaming, because some people, it's when it comes to just assault in general, it's so much trauma around it that some people just don't feel comfortable saying it. So you can't really, you know what I'm saying? You can't say, oh, it happened 10 years ago, why you didn't come and say something now, because you don't know the circumstances behind it. So that's why I always feel like you got to give them grace. You know? But recently, or not even recently, 22 hours ago, this is ABC7 LA, they posted that civil rights leader Dolores Huerta says Cesar Chavez sexually assaulted her. I am 96 years old and for the last 60 years have kept a secret because I believe that exposing the truth would hurt the farm worker movement I have spent my entire life fighting for. I have encouraged people to always use their voice. Following the New York Times multi-year investigation into sexual misconduct by Cesar Chavez, I can no longer stay silent and must share my own experiences. My silence ends here. So, there was a multi-year investigation into sexual conduct by Cesar Chavez? Wow. My silence ends here. Dolores Huerta. So, Dolores Huerta, the labor activist who co-founded the United Farm Workers with Cesar Chavez, says she was manipulated and pressured into having sex with him. I can no longer stay silent and must share my own experiences, Huerta says. Huerta, 95, says she had 2 separate sexual encounters with Chavez in the 1960s. The first time I was manipulated and pressured into having sex with him, and I didn't feel I could say no because he was someone that I admired, my boss and a leader of the movement I had already devoted years of my life to. Huerta said the second time I was forced against my will in an environment where I felt trapped. This, this is why I was, man, fuck. This is why, man, I'm never doing it again. Like I said, I can't talk about it until after Sunday. So pretty much, I know, guys. I know. I've been really quiet about this fucking shit. But this fucking elephant has been in this fucking room so much, bro. But essentially, this is what they call quid pro quo. This is what they call taking advantage of your underling, in a sense, of like the people that's under you. I guess, what are my thoughts? Hey, if she says that she had 2 separate sexual encounters with him and just how she felt, I'm with her. Sadly, he's not here to kind of like say anything or like kind of like, you know what I'm saying? So we only could go off of what she says. And if she's saying that's what happened to her, then it is what it is. It is just interesting though because of the stance or the impact that Cesar Chavez has on society in general. Like I was already seeing like articles and like posts about how like they're like, okay, so are we not gonna we're not gonna honor the holiday no more, or we're gonna start changing things up? And it's like, damn, like I can't fault them for doing that because like something like with some, I don't want to even put that. I don't want to put that. But pretty much it's like, it's just one of those things where someone that you thought was a good guy, now we're finding out he's a bad guy, and we done embedded him in society so much. Do we now undo it? But that's what I'm saying. That's what sucks, bro. That's what sucks about like racism. You would think, right? Like, if someone could come out and say something like about Cesar Chavez and it be met with such seriousness, why when people say shit about like a nigga like Trump, why they don't take it that seriously? You know what I'm saying? Like, just to say, because I'm all for it. Like, that's always how I've been. If we're gonna set a standard and that, okay, if you jaywalk, you get a ticket, then everybody that jaywalk better get a ticket. Like, if I'm the only one that when I jaywalk I get a ticket, I am gonna feel some type of way. So that sucks. Like, as a human, we are predisposed to feeling like that. Because even as I'm hearing this, like I said, I'm reading this, I'm like, damn, I can't say they're wrong for now wanting to undo the impact or now wanting, like, I guess, okay, like, now that he's, you know what I'm saying, looking like this, we might have to we can't fuck with him like that. I'm all for that. But are we going to do that every time niggas do this then? Because, like I said, when the Epstein shit came out and Trump was found to be buddy, y'all ain't cancel him like that. I mean, he is a president, so how can you really cancel the president? You know what I'm saying? Regardless. But, you know what I'm saying? It's one of those things where it's like, hey, let's keep it fair across the whole board then. On me. I'm all for it. Because based on what she's saying, it's sad. Like, because like I said, I can't speak on the validity of it, but just that situation itself, like I said, on paper, I work in a job where this is what they tell us in our training too. Like, hey, once you become a supervisor, once you become a manager, you low-key cannot talk to none of the you can't talk to none of the regular team members because they might feel inclined to fuck with you just off of the fact that you're in this position that you're in. Like, they might really not even like you. They might just really just be like, I admire them because of the position, I respect them, and they're in a high position, so I'm gonna fuck with them. And I say that to say that, like, man, that's why I would not recommend trying to interact intimately with people that are under you at work. I'm just put it like that. You know what I'm saying? You live, you learn, and you earn. And I just feel like it's not good. It's just better when it's someone that you don't work with or someone that you're not close with. So, you know, shout out to Dolores Huerta. I pray and hope that she gets the justice that she deserves. And I hope that there's some type of reasonable way that we could, like, figure things out. Because hopefully society, we could still appreciate the movement that he was trying to essentially get across. And then hopefully, I guess if we have to denounce him as a person, we denounce him. But, you know, because like I said, I remember Cesar Chavez growing up, going to elementary school, learning about him. Like, his impact was definitely important. You know what I mean? Like, strike from farms, you know what I'm saying? Like, really getting proper, you know, the stopping and usage of peptides. Like, you know what I'm saying? Pretty much putting or forcing the government to, or forcing the people that hired, you know what I'm saying, farmers to improve why do I always, it's so weird, right? I don't know if you guys ever had this. You have the word in your head, but then when it comes to just executing it, it fucks up. But improving the circumstances and improving the conditions that the workers are under. He was definitely very instrumental in that, and I hope that his movement in that aspect can still be appreciated. And then if they need to have to do what they have to do, they gotta do what they gotta do. You know, like I said, I'm not with that. I told you guys already, I don't fuck with niggas that put hands on it. I don't fuck with niggas that hit girls. So I already know you can't come to me with shit like this, because you already know I'm gonna be on the woman's side. I'm sorry, y'all. That's why I sucked with the whole Megan Thee Stallion thing, because, bro, what? Oh my gosh, I love Megan Thee Stallion, bro. Hold on. So, hey, we don't know what's gonna happen. I'm gonna put the eyes emoji. I'm so sorry to the people that to the listeners, guys. I was man, like, it's not that I can't tell you guys certain things, right? But there's certain things in my life that I feel like, you know, like, I would be a hypocrite, or in a sense, like, how can I preach to you guys about being careful about what to share on the internet if I don't be careful about what I share on the internet? You know what I'm saying? So, I'm sorry. There's certain things that I just can't tell you guys. My bad. But that's what I was handling on my phone. It's all handled now. But back to what I was saying, though, in regards to, you know what I'm saying, the Cesar Chavez situation. Like I said, I do hope, like, you know what I'm saying, this doesn't make it to where it's really crazy and shit, because, wow. Like, that's crazy. It was 270. Why did it take 16? Why am I'm so confused. But yeah, you know, like I said, I hope that the situation could get some type of proper resolution, and that she can receive the justice that she deserves, because no woman deserves to be assaulted, let alone by someone that's in a higher position than her. That's why it sucks, because like I said, as a nigga that's not horny, fuck, I really want to talk about it with y'all. But that's just, I guess what I can say is, as a nigga that's not super duper freaked out, because I'm a freak, but I'm not freaked out. That's why I try my best to be careful with my interactions with women, because I never want to be with someone or be around a girl and then, like, she wants to show it's like I did it to kind of like keep the peace, and it's like, no, shorty, like, if you do not feel comfortable, or you not with whatever I'm on or whatever or something, like if you're not interested, just say that. Like, oh me, like, oh God, because I don't want nobody to go with me or go along with something, because just like I don't know how he's gonna react, or I don't know what the possible retaliation is. Like, sis, just know there is no retaliation. That's retaliation. The retaliation is I appreciate your letting me know, and that we can go back to whatever it was, or we could not go back to whatever it was, because sometimes it's lost. But if anything, huh? Yeah. Okay, I'll finish right here. I told you guys. Sometimes your boy be thinking. I be really thinking I don't have a lot to talk about, but in reality, I do. So we're gonna move some of these to next week's episode. Spider-Man trailer came out, so I'm looking forward to that. I'm sad to see that in there. Spider-Man trailer. In regards to Michael B. Jordan, it was funny because the girl that basically called him corny, later on she wanted him to kind of apologize and was like, oh, he was wrong for kind of like putting me on the spot when I wasn't even the one that called him corny and shit. I thought that was just funny because, girl, it is what it is. Just stand on it, man. When you seen the man, you should have said that. You didn't say that when you had him in the interview, but now you guys want to be on this freaking. I'm my bad. I'm rushing through it. So I'm not giving you guys the full thing. As far as my daily recap too, or my weekly recap, just got the Five Guys buy one get one free order last Thursday. Went on a hike with my twin on Friday. Started playing Papa's Pizzeria again. You feel me? That's been good. I've been streaming. Pretty much your boy's been coming. Like I'm coming up with more content. So, man, that's what I'm saying. Next week's episode, guys. I promise you guys. I'm so sorry that I've been holding you guys like this, and I've just been like, keeping you guys in the dark. But next week's episode, all will be revealed, and I can really talk about the elephant in the room, and it would essentially help this, because then you guys will know. Then I could tell you guys my next plans, and I can fully talk about it fully, But yeah, next week, episode 38. That's the episode. And it's funny because I was just thinking the other day, I said, there's 52 weeks in a year. I've been uploading for 37 weeks. Damn. And let's see. Let's do the math. 52 minus 37. 15 more weeks, I would have been uploading a podcast for a year. In 15 weeks, that's going to be our 1 year anniversary. If we're going off of that, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. July 2nd is supposed to be the podcast anniversary. But on Saturday, so I have it on the week after. So I was close. But yeah, that's when I'll really get to get into, like I said, all the good stuff and everything I tell you guys. But yeah, we're almost to 1 year of the podcast. So thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for supporting me. I appreciate you guys so much. I love you guys. Thank you. And like I said, we're going to end it right here. Like I said, I told you guys a weekly recap. It wasn't too much because, like I said, I can't tell you guys too much yet. But I just want to end it with Lil Wayne's comments about AI possibly taking over, because this is why he's my favorite rapper. And this is why I be trying to tell you guys. If you talented, if you got skills, AI can't do shit. Let's listen.
How you handle AI in this business now?
Challenge. The challenge.
Bro, it's wild.
I love it. AI is a better thing. I love that AI is what it is.
Yeah.
Because, man, I love to be able to stand right next to whoever AI is, he, she, they, whatever, or whatever AI is, stand right next to them, and I'm still better. Ain't that something? So go keep telling me what you do again?
Yeah.
Go run your list. I do this, I do that. Yeah, I love it. I love the challenge of it. The first time I seen it, somebody my friends was a little worried. They was like, man, bro, they got this AI stuff where you couldn't just ask it to give you a verse like Lil Wayne. And so I did it. I said, wait a minute, give me a verse like Lil Wayne. And they gave me her best shot.
Yeah.
I did it on a couple of devices. That, not only a phone, a computer, even for a commercial, I was shooting.
Bro, Lil Wayne is so hard, bro. I'm sorry. I never, man, it's very hard to get me to fangirl like this. But I'm really just watching them, just like I'm on every word. Like, yeah, Lil Wayne, and then what happened? and then what happened? Oh God, yeah, you got it on the different devices. Yeah. Oh God. So academics, my bad. I see how you be at when it comes to Drake. I feel you. My bad. Shout out to these academics. My bad.
Alexa thing. I want to hear it. I have a thing called Proto at home. They got its own little robot thing. Ask her to give me one, and they all, oh, you suck. So that's how we gonna be okay.
I fuck with that.
Yeah.
Cause like, who was it? Beanie Siegel. I think he had to start using it because he like was losing his voice a little bit.
And that's helpful.
That's where it's helpful.
Yeah.
But like, it ain't gonna ever replace you. Shoot.
Not at all. And with that said, I want everyone out there to know we're talking about me and we're talking about a musician. Please know that goes for everything. If you're a janitor and you're fearing that AI will take your job, do your job better. Clean up way better than that motherfucker. You clean up. You can't get this spot. You couldn't get this spot. You didn't know this was dirty up here. I'm the only one know about this spot. You gotta just do your job and do it well, man. You know about it.
I think that's what we're gonna call the episode. Do your job. Just do your job and do it well. Oh God. Just do your job and do it well. Thank you, Lil Wayne. I don't really think I gotta say much about it. He pretty much laid it out right there. If you guys are scared about AI taking over, okay, I gotta be honest, because I was kind of worrying you guys too. I was saying, hey, y'all be prepared. My bad. Lil Wayne right. Big bro right. I was about to say something a little crazy. Big bro right. If I'm scared about AI taking my position and doing my job, I just gotta do my job better. I gotta just do it well. Like, what? Like, and that's why I feel like, oh God, I ain't gonna lie. I'm a beast. I'm gonna keep it so 3,000 with y'all. I'm kind of worried though. Like, some people might not be able to tell good or bad. Like, you know how Lil Wayne was able to say, like, yeah, like, I asked AI to do a Lil Wayne verse. It wasn't that good. There's people out there that might get the Lil Wayne verse and be like, this verse is so hard. Those are the people that I'm worried about. Because Lil Wayne could tell. He has that discernment. Like, nigga, as a true artist, I know when I hear an AI verse, it's weak. Me too. I'm not even trying to just be like, look at this guy trying to say my brain, I have so many memes in my head. So there's a meme that I'm thinking about when it's like, this guy think he part of them. Like, it's a video where, dang, I forgot what it is, but they tried to deal with Drake. They was like, Drake think he part of the this, and it was funny. But yeah, I'm not trying to say I'm Lil Wayne, but I feel him in the sense that, like, when I hear an AI song, I immediately know it's AI. Based on the cadence, based on the lyrics, and based on the execution of it. Like, AI, you could give AI a verse, and it would, let's say, for example, it has a beat. It will work, because, like, that's kind of what I try to do with my music. It will work so hard to make sure that the verse goes with the beat, that even if it doesn't make sense, it will say it. And I remember one time, one of the homies was like, posted something on his story. I'm not thinking anything of it. But I seen the song. It was like, something. Why didn't I save it? I need to start saving this shit. But it was a song that was specific to a situation that I was like, who made this song? I said, this song just seems too relatable. I said, this song seems too, like, specific about what he was posting. And I went to the shit, bro. It's an AI page. It's an AI artist, bro. It's a whole fake person. The profile picture doesn't even match the picture that's on the page. The page has an AI rendition of a 90s R&B black artist. And then it's like, you know, like the era that Sinners was in, it has people like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, clean cut, you know what I'm saying, oldies, black men on there. And the lyrics in the song is he's supposed to be an artist, right? So I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, do niggas know this is AI? Bro, I go to the niggas audio, everybody's tagging this niggas using his music. And I'm like, wow, DJ Academics was not lying. When they say you could make a whole song with AI and just post it, they're not kidding. Like, I just imagine, I said, how much money is this nigga making off of this? Because I'm pretty sure these people, that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm always surprised. I don't know why. But I just gotta keep reminding myself, people don't be taking it that deep as much as I do. Like, my cheek, I'm over here keep looking at my cheek because my shit looks big, but it's because I got a little pimple right here. People don't think that deep like I be thinking. So I'm probably one of the only few people that even was like, these lyrics sound super generated. Like, let me go see the person that made the song. Then I went to the page and I was like, oh, this is an AI page. I'm not hating. I just thought, I guess what it is for me is, I guess that, if I'm being honest, I'm just surprised at how, like, easy it is for everybody to just be okay with it, I guess. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I'm one of those guys that's like, when the AI take over, I'm gonna be the racist towards the AI. I'm gonna be like, you fucking clanker, because the way everybody's just like okay with this letting the AI just be like it's part, like it's a human shit. I'm not with that. I feel like we should, and that sounds crazy, right? Because it's like, it's kind of what they're doing in the Darwin Incident. It's like, who has rights and who doesn't? I feel like humans just should have rights. I'm sorry, it is what it is. Animals should have rights too, but I feel like there should be levels of rights. AI don't need the same rights as humans, so I'm not being racist to AI by saying this. That like, AI should know its place, bro. Like, it's a computer. It works. It's a companion for us, so it should be working for us. But the fact that everybody's just so kumbaya, just letting AI be on Instagram, letting people run pages that they're using the AI to be the front of, I just feel like it's a little creepy. And it's like I said, my homegirl sent me a post one time, and she was like, oh my god, and it's AI, like it's an AI white girl in a bed with a black guy talking about something. I cheat on my husband. And I was like, serious. I was like, you know this AI, right? She's like, what? And then I went down. I said, please guys, let's check the page. Let's check the history. But I'm guessing, because even I'm saying, like, I'm learning. Like, that's what it is. People don't do that. They see what they see, enjoy it for the moment, come up with their opinion, and they go on. Me, if I see something and I don't, especially if I don't fuck with it, I do my research. Who is this? Where did this come from? Where's all this? Where's this page? And if I, like I said, if I see it, okay, if I still feel like I don't fuck with it, I leave it alone. That's usually my thing. I'm like, I'm learning to, if I have nothing nice to say, I'm not saying nothing at all. But I guess I'm not trying to sit here and like dive into that and stuff, because I did have to kind of run. Thank you guys for listening. Thank you guys for watching. This has been episode 37 of the STAYDOWNLA podcast. It's your boy K Stacks the P. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night. Thank you to all the supporters. I appreciate every single one of you guys. Thank you guys for all that you do. Remember, always do something that you love. Always be safe. Always be covered. And just remember that, hey, as long as you fuck with it, that's all that matters. Fuck what anybody else is talking about. It's your boy K Stacks the P. I'll see y'all in the next episode. I'm out.